38 is Jamie Love. We've mentioned Matthew Primus missing. He is going to be a big blow. I saw the Lions last week. He was fantastic. He had a very good duel with Randall Bone, actually, a former Crow, and Fitzroy won the toss. And, well, it's a pretty important toss to win, as I think we all agree.
Yes, it is, Peter. And Fitzroy really have to take advantage. Just a very good observation from Curls, I think, that Adelaide would be one of the better sides with the ability to be able to run the ball up into the breeze. And they'll be really testing that area today. It'll be a very interesting first quarter.
One thing I didn't mention regarding the weather forecast, the wind has been tipped to turn around to the west. I remember a final a few years back, Hawthorn and Melbourne out at Waverley, when it did turn around during the game. And you're pointing to yourself, Russell?
I played in that one. That was
Melbourne had the win for 3 quarters. That's what I was getting around to say.
We nearly cried, but then Buckenara sorted all that out for us.
And that is the Bureau forecast, a late change. Current temperature is 25 after an expected top of 24, so a bit of a bonus there. Pretty good conditions if you can forget about the wind, which we can't. Lamb, the late inclusion for Matthew Primus. He's going to start on the bench. There he is with the ponytail. Didn't play last week. So a very important toss to win. Fitzroy have first use of this breeze. Jeff Holt, you mentioned in your comments, Terry, well, they would like to get more out of him and John McCarthy.
Yes, they would. Well, John McCarthy actually starting on the bench there, but Hoggett centre half forward, Hawking in at full forward, Jared Malloy in the forward pocket is the Fitzroy lineup for the start.
Let's not forget the job that Brett Chalmers did on Tony Lockett last week, put him right out of business, and not for the first time. And he's going down to full back, it would appear. He's going to start on Malloy. So we're set for a start here at the Whitten Oval. The Crows and the Lions. Fitzroy losing last week, keen to make amends. Atkins out of the centre. Hogg, quick hand pass. Bamford, who was one of their best last week when he played on Darren Pritchard. That was a very, very good duel. There's not much of him. Bamford, number 22, and in the thick of things already. So a ball up, centre half forward for Fitzroy. Crows going right to left. Fitzroy left to right. Real scramble there, suiting Adelaide as they tie it up, nullifying Fitzroy's early use of this breeze. Windsock down at the Geelong Road end, really almost horizontal to the pole now. So another bounce and interference. It's going Fitzroy's way, and it's going to be taken by Big Cook. Plenty of responsibility, Russell, on his shoulders this afternoon.
It certainly is, Pete. Cook looks for Malloy over his head, bounces towards the boundary line and beats both him and Chalmers for a throw in about 30 metres around from the Fitzroy goal.
Russell, I just have to claim a little bit of local knowledge here. That ball really shouldn't have been delivered towards that pocket there. The Western Oval, Whitten Oval now. This grandstand side is the side to attack on.
Yeah, good point, Will. Another ball up. Stacks on the mill, and umpire Kennedy will ball it up about 15 metres out from the boundary and about 35 from goal, 40 from goal. Tapped down by Pittman. Smothered by Fitzroy forwards. Good play, keeping it inboard. Prosciutto unable to. Now Tregenza. Quick kick out towards the boundary. Atkins. It's a running race. Atkins in front off the ground. Unable to pick it up. Lip tack very clever, very fast hands. On to Jarman. Back to Tregenza. He's followed up that 50-metre run. Good kick. Straight to Bond on centre wing. Bond goes inboard. Looking for Costa, I think it is, in the centre. Yes, it is. Costa allows the bounce. Knows the ground pretty well. Costa, not a very good kick. It's towards the pocket. Looking for Caven. A good game last week. Looking for good goals against Sydney. Well knocked up by Fitzroy defenders. Pike, recipient of a mark. Bounces onto 50. Looking now for something to set up. Elects to kick long. Good looking kick from Pike. Over Barker's head. Good play. Eyes on the ball. Good play by Smart as well. Prosciutto, low kick, touched by Liptak up to Bond. Bond now, inboard to Jarman. Very clever kick by Jarman, inboard to Costa again. Can he redeem himself from that poor kick? He does, he kicks it inboard up to Wren, can't mark. Caven taken, the crowd appealing for holding the ball. Rough and tough stuff here at the Whitten Oval.
Yeah, let it go there, didn't he?
They're all prepared to get in there, and the umpire, John Harvey, there allowing them all to get early energy out of their system.
Centre half forward for the Adelaide Crows. Wren gets behind Paxman, won by the latter. Liptak gets it out to McGuinness. A shot at goal, just off target. And the first score of the match coming up to Adelaide. It's a minor one.
And Matthew Liptak, who was involved there this week, has a job on Simon Atkins after last week. A very good job on the reigning Brownlow medalist, Paul Kelly.
Paxman did a good job last week on Dunster. It wasn't until the final quarter that the Hawks spearhead was able to get away and kick a couple of good goals. He finished with 5, but for 3 quarters, Steve Paxman, I thought, was actually on top over the head of Ron Bogus. Chance for Rodman. He'll need to go short, and does. McGuinness on the end of the pass.
So that really exemplifies, doesn't it, the use of the ball you have to make out of the full-back to kick off. That if you lose possession on 50, the outriders of the opposition side are really well placed, as Tony McGuinness was on that occasion, outriding in the forward pocket, took the return ball.
Well, he should know the ground pretty well. Sure, he does know the ground pretty well, and the conditions kicking into this northerly. Let's see if he can read it well off the boot. Probably as good as he could have done from there, I think. Ball still bounces in play. Wren tried to get it out. Couldn't do so. Now Holmes, who gave off 25 hand passes last week. That's almost an attempted trip from Costa. The umpire lets it go up towards centre wing, and the mark is taken down there by Barker. Barker almost on the boundary line. Knock on Ron Botus, who was busy early last week. Cannons in the photographers, and it's out of bounds right on 50.
This will be a great test for young John Rombotis. He has Darren Jarman in the centre of the ground. As you said, Peter, a very good game last week from that young player.
Yes, he was particularly inspiring in the first half, in which Fitzroy led by 23 points at the main change. Pittman, we've spoken about him. Jarman, how did he get a kick out of that? That was incredible. This is the man they want to fire this afternoon. Their skipper, Brad Boyd, centering kick from him. And unfortunately, that's about as far as it's going. Crows will come away. This is Jamison. Gets it back to Nigel Smart, who marks it left halfback.
Smart looking to settle things down. Chips into Liptak. Liptak currently studying to be a doctor, I understand. So, very good kick and a great leap by Pittman, unable to mark. Bit of class from Jarman on centre wing. Drives it up forward. Mellington's an opportunist now in front. Grabs it and elects to run, does it well. Gets it off to Bamford. Very good player last week against Hawthorn. Now it's the Roy's chance. Good setup. Great setup by Johnson to Barker.
Barker's getting away from Jamison on a number of occasions at the moment.
Barker finds the hole to walk. Good play by the Roy boys so far. Chips again. Look, they're creating lots of space. And Martin Pike come down from the back line. Pike looking to settle it a bit, looking for a lead. Maybe a set play. Kicks long. Looks good. And touched on the line with 1 behind. The Roy's first score. 1 point apiece.
And it was very good the way in which they went about it. Pike playing at half-back on Troy Bond. Quite prepared to take the game on and get down the ground. Kick falling just short of the goal line.
Chalmers kicking against a strong breeze. A very good kick out to 60. Pittman unable to grab. Tries to avoid oncoming opponents. Does it well. Now Costa a chance. Having plenty of touches early in the game. Kicks a high ball. Johnson in front. Eyes on the ball. Man in front, Terry.
The only place to be, particularly in conditions like this.
Exactly. Chris Johnson took a beautiful mark last week against Hawthorn. Fantastic grab. Finds Cook. Plays on quickly. Centre wing, Dougie Hawkins' wing, very famous here in the western suburbs. Kicks it long, looking for Ron Bottas. And no, it's Morton, and over the boundary line on the ball.
Well, Fitzroy are doing well in general play. They're certainly winning enough ball, but we're now some 6 minutes into the quarter and haven't scored a goal. Really, they need one very, very quickly, Russ.
Shane Evan from right half back. Umpire has played the mark. Was he played a free kick? Now it's going Fitzroy's way. Atkins going back to take it. I don't think it's going to be his. In fact, it's not. It's going to be Hawking. Hawking from left half forward. Fitzroy would love a couple of goals. Punched away by Chalmers. Now it comes back to Tregenza. Close to the boundary line. Hawking sees it over in front of Pittman. Falling right into the hands of the Crows, who have defended particularly well so far in the first quarter. howling northerly. The Whitten Oval. Ruck contests nullified. I don't think we can expect too much more. That shot by Hogg looks pretty good. He likes it, and so does the goal umpire. It's there.
The extraordinary story of Adelaide patients having major surgery without anaesthetic.
And I didn't even have a Panadol.
Hypnosis, no pain, no side effects.
What would happen if the patient woke up?
That's 6:30 Monday night.
First goal of the game to Jeff Hogg, Fitzroy's first. 1-1, plays one behind. Cook, good win in the centre. Oh, good clash of heads there. Oh, someone is hurt. Doesn't look very well at all. But it's Rashudo's kick. Play on. Oh, well intercepted by Baldwin. The Fitzroy player is still down. He has not moved. Doesn't look well at all.
They've got to be careful with the stretcher too.
Costa was unable to take a mark. Ben Hart has been ruled, pushed in the back on the Crows half-back line. Elects to change direction right across the field looking for Jamison. Jamison it is, takes a bounce. Down centre wing. Plenty of time now to set something up. Good chase by the Fitzroy defender. Enables Chris Johnson to attempt to take a mark. Holmes to mop up. Now they're looking for players. Bamford. An opportunity now. Takes the great. No, he misses that. On 50. Has to play on quickly. Wobbles it forward up towards centre wing. Costa now. No, but Smart to help him out with the Shepherd. Hogg dances around Smart. Costa on to Jarman. Quick hands to Chalmers up from fullback. And to take the pressure off the Crows up towards 50. Oh, good, very clever mark in front. Johnson again.
This is a very good move by Michael Noonan, I think.
They're stopping the game, Terry. Just
fair enough.
Looking for the stretcher. Someone is not well. We can pick out who it is.
I had the glasses on him for about 3 minutes and I still can't find who it is.
Oh,
It is young John Rombotis.
Clash of heads. That is okay.
The rule with the stretcher is it must be placed on it and carried off if it's out there, but he can't come back onto the field for 20 minutes. I don't think that's going to be applicable really in
Let's
this
hope that
case.
he's able to, Pete, at least.
Yeah.
He has been, you know, we mentioned him earlier in his performance last week in Hawthorn.
It was particularly good.
Yeah, look, debuted last year with 4 games during the year previously from Central Under-18s, but has really put in a strong summer and showed some benefits from that from last week. And I think it was a great challenge that was put to John here by the coach by giving him Darren Jarman in this match. But those things are very unavoidable, unfortunately.
A strong play by Costa too, Terry. Both had eyes on the ball.
A couple of hard young men there,
Yeah.
Russ.
13 and 9 he had last week. He kicked 2 goals.
Replacing him is Brett Chandler to come on for his chance. First opportunity for the day. And Johnson to take the kick on the Fitzroy half-back line. Elects to play on. And quickly, up he goes. Johnson. Inboard now. Chandler, first touch, straight on. Oh! He's been on for a couple of seconds. Rashudo was hitting with a steam train. Now, Andrew Jarman and Pike the winner elects to send the ball and Pike over the boundary line into the fence. Bit of pushing and shoving. Oh, the retaliator against Pike. Free kick to Andrew Jarman. What a master.
That aside, young Chandler is back up onto his feet and he's ready to get right back into the fray.
Jarman kicks in short. Round the corner for a goal. To I think it's McLeod.
He's missed.
Oh,
Free kick has been awarded just in that the big arm tangle between Wren and Paxman. Paxman's doing a good job on Wren. He hasn't really allowed him to get those big arms up yet to dominate in that goal square.
Not much room for him there to manoeuvre. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. And Brett Chandler seems to have recovered. Bamford, that right half-back, takes the mark. Goes in short, might be just a little bit too short, but it's okay. Danny Morton Well, it's livened the Fitzroy supporters up.
Peter, it reminded me a bit of Dicky Domenico and Reeves in that final at AFL Park a few years ago. I don't know if you remember that. Reeves came off the bench.
How about Card and Greg?
Oh,
very similar, wasn't it?
did the collected him right off the bench.
Ball out of bounds. Taken over there by Jeff Hogg. Throw in on centre wing. With the clock ticking down, we're about halfway through the first quarter now. Only the one goal scored, and that was to Jeff Hogg from that scrimmage at the boundary line on the other side. Really the goal-kicking side. Now Tregenza's kick. Bounce is going to be a factor. McLeod, clever knock-on. Bond couldn't handle it. Pike, quick hand pass. Morton. Bamford says go, and he does. Morton's kick up towards the right half-forward flank. 2-on-1 in favour of the Roys. Boyd couldn't handle it. Opportunity out in front there for Allen. Ball cleared up towards the 50-metre line again. Hogg, back to Morton, back to Hogg. Brushes one tackle, a throw. Almost a Crows free kick. The umpire has decided to come in and bounce.
And Peter, Robert Shaw's made a change to his forward line with Matthew Robert, who'd started centre half forward, coming off the ground, going for an extra small in order to run the ball up into the breeze in McLeod.
A bounce, right half forward for Fitzroy. Past Morton, past Tregenza. McGuinness has got it onto that trusty left foot. The pass is effective and the mark is taken by Troy Bond right on centre wing.
Bond goes in, boy, looking for Jamison, finds him on the centenary season logo. Jamison settling it down, looking for some movement. Finds Bickley in the centre, misdirected kick, but Bickley to make amends. Lip tack to Andrew Jarman, always on his own, very clever player and very popular too for the Fitzroy supporters. Over the top of Wren, punch clear by Fitzroy defender. Jarman again. Great recovery. Costa, very clever play. Looking for Caven, centre half forward, unable to take the mark. Some good body work by Fitzroy, and it's a free kick, man in front.
They've been very strong back there. This last line of defence being able prepared, and now John Buck, everyone's prepared to get back, get numbers back defensively and start a forward run for the Fitzroy side.
Barker it was that threw his body in. Mellington, half back. Now the Roys. Paxman's on his own at the Smith centre wing. Got to take it on with Smart. Does it cleverly over the top. Hogg sells the dummy. Inboards the Boyd. Hands on it, unable to take the mark. Now to Bamford. Bit of pace, Bamford. Looks to settle. Drives it in long. And only one behind for Bamford.
Good piece of work there. He really showed the pace that he's got. Arguably one of the quickest players in the SANFL last year, and on that occasion did show he has got a turn of speed.
Bamford 13 and 7 last week, 20 possessions. So he's going to be in for a good day here as well. Pittman. Too good for Cook. Pittman at right half-back. Probably goes short. It's strong northerly. She does. Very difficult conditions for the players. Guinness.
The old dog, the old bulldog here, played here many times, Macca, just buying the time now into the breeze.
And looks fully fit too, which is a real bonus for him and the club. Pittman again. Kick comes down to Mellington, punches it away from Jarman, succeeds in getting it over the boundary line. Throw in under the old coach's box, which I'm sure you know pretty well, Terry.
Some solid afternoon work from out there,
Cook and Pittman. Past McLeod, past Jarman. Fitzroy through Pike, desperately trying to get it cleared. Jarman again finds some space. Best and fairest at Hawthorn last year. Drops the kick up towards half-back to his brother. He's not the most popular player on the ground at the moment. Kick could even be a goal. It takes a left-hand turn. And the Roys are going to clear it again. Barker, if he can get clear, he can, to Pittman. Hilly leg. Pittman playing well. Gets it to Baldwin. Baldwin at right half-back. Looks a little slippery there on the practice wicket area. Kick in towards midfield, and that's okay. This is Wolf. Wolf at midfield. Needs to go long. And does. Danny Morton takes the mark at half-forward.
Danny Morton. Now this is the Fitzroy plan. Go to the top of the ground. Take advantage of this breeze. Chalmers can't mark. Now for Boyd. Clever hands. Unable to keep it in play. Good opportunity there for Fitzroy. They needed that one.
It was, Russell. They did the right thing down on that outer side, then being able to cross the ball across. This is a very attacking position that they've got the ball in now.
Ideal for a setup. The Royals need another goal with this breeze. Neil Curley mentioned it might have been a 4 or 5 goal or 5 or 6 goal breeze. Now the Crows go defensive. Costa, fresh air shot. Back onto the ball. Oh, good solid work by both teams. Costa again on the bottom of the pack. Chandler on top of him, and umpire John Harvey decides I'll ball that up on the 50 on the left half forward for Fitzroy.
I think Bickley's got a bit of a headache. As you'll see here. Wow.
Scalped it. One-two plays one behind. Just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Cook wins this one. Chandler dances around onto his left foot now. Atkins 40 metres out.
And will kick it.
Your big rap for him, Will?
Well, 149 games with Fitzroy or thereabout. Oh, no, not that many, I'm sorry. You'll know this one.
Atkins looks deliberate. He might have over-adjusted then, Will. You always give them a rap and they let you down. One behind. Neil Curley, we got an update on some information.
Yes, on young John. He was knocked out, and but he has recovered conscious in the dressing room. But of course, with concussion, it remains to be seen if he'll take any further part in the game.
Thanks, Curls. Kick out by Smart. A beautiful kick. Straight to Ren, who's moved up into the ruck. Now the Crows move it off. Prosciutto. Back to McGuinness. Down the Dougie Hawkins wing. Bounces 2 or 3 times. Now on his left foot, he steadies. Oh, well done by Pike. In front of the leading pitman. Now change of direction for the Roys. Straight across board it is to Holt. Holt now has a paddock in front of him. Elects to kick long. Atkins is 1 against 2. Keeps his feet. Liptak goes down. Gets the handball up to Bamford, but overruns it. Hart to Liptak now. Good tackling by the Roys. Hawking it was. Jarman now to Hart to steady it up. Hart drives it into half forward. And Caven uses his body well. Takes the mark. Gives it up to McLeod. That's the kicker. Allows Barker to clean up. To Pike. Paxman it was. Now to Pike. Off to Barker onto the half-back line. Towards the boundary line. Likes to keep it in. Dancing around. Chandler inboard.
Chandler seems to have recovered from that heavy knock that he got as soon as he came onto the ground. Morton takes the mark in front of Ellen underneath the old coach's box. Time running out for Fitzroy in the first quarter. Hawking underneath the ball. Smart did well. Fitzroy supporters looking for holding the ball, but he didn't really have it. Throw-in is 50 metres out, left half forward for Fitzroy. It's going to be Wren and Cook. Cook looking for the front position. Neither ruckman able to get an effective tap out. From the net of defence for the Crows towards midfield. As far as they're going. Opportunity now for Cassidy, a left footer. Long bomb into the forward pocket. Over the head of his teammate down there, and Jared Malloy. And it's going to be a free kick to Adelaide. 1-3 to 1 behind. Touchdown by Barker. McGuinness missed it. Jarman. Clever use of the football. Best and fairest at Hawthorn last year. Costa playing the oval that he knows so well. Bad hand pass over to Caven. It's out of bounds on centre wing. Again, right underneath the coach's box as the clock ticks down to under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. And as Neil Curley suggested, the Crows can run the ball pretty well into the wind. They've done that fairly well in this quarter. Haven't scored a goal, but of course they only trail marginally. Just the 1 kick so far in the turn. That might have been a bit high. Bickley. And all this suiting the Crows down to the ground.
Peter, I'd really like to see Fitzroy move one of their tools. They've got 2 tall forwards right in the goal square. I think Jeff Hogg's been stretched across half forward, and they need another option across that line in order to get the ball through.
Wren and Cook. Cook wins it, but Wren gets the kick. It's a high ball, it's a floater. Those ones are very difficult to mark. Holmes just throws the body in and wins out by holding the ball up on centre wing for the Roys. 1-3-9 Fitzroy playing Adelaide one behind. Good knock by Pike. Only be sharked by Costa. Inboard and straight to Darren Holmes, who knocks up on the 50. Fitzroy again elected to change direction. They need to move this down. They need to get a score quickly with only under 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Now Bamford onto Paxman, gets it away quickly. Good hands from Hogg to Cassidy. Everyone's slipping over. Hawkins over. Now off the ground by Hawking. Along the ground and out of bounds, right next to the point post.
Well, if ever we were looking for Michael Noonan's stamp on this Fitzroy side, I think we just saw it. That chain of handballs down through the centre of the ground there was very good, very well executed. Just the last bit at the end was squeezed a little by the Adelaide defence.
Battle for front position. Wren gets it, punches it again towards the boundary and gains about 10 metres. Now about 20 metres away from Fitzroy goals. Sean Wren, good to see him back. Debuted after that knee injury last week, Terry.
Very important for him to continue to get run into those extremely long legs of his.
Cook wins it, but only now for Costa. Jamison, was it? Jarman, sorry. Very difficult to see. Out of bounds on the full. Now, Brad Boyd. Look for Mellington, but Andrew Jarman to intercept. Holmes. Over the top towards Barker. Barker in front, falls over, can't keep his feet. Now Andrew Jarman, clever hands to Jamison. Jamison now has a chance to set it up. Bickley back inboard to Jamison. Inboard to McGuinness, a bit like a training run. There's no one in the goal square. McGuinness can drive it long. Does that. Bounces in front of the goals. It's a good chip shot and it stays inboard. Now for Paxman to clean up for Fitzroy. Drives it long. Finds Chandler. Chandler kicks up towards centre wing, punched away by Wren. Good clever work by the Adelaide ruckman. Chalmers can't keep his feet. Now for Malloy on Fitzroy's 50, right near the boundary line. Gets it away, but taken. Oh, good play by Shane Allen, the ex-Footscray player. Elects again to cross the ground, going to that defensive position. Andrew Jarman in the way. Costa it is now on centre wing.
10 possessions to Costa in the first quarter. He's absolutely burning. Opportunity for Caven, who got rid of his opponent particularly well with a deft hip and shoulder. A great tackle by Wolf. Holding the ball. Fantastic tackle. Took it a little bit too easy. So Fitzroy, time running out for them. We've got just over 1 minute if they're to get another goal on the board. It's been an excellent quarter by the Crows. Baldwin's kicked down towards right half forward. Marking contest down there off the hands of the pack and out of bounds again, suiting Adelaide 50 metres from the Fitzroy goal. It's 1-3-1 behind. 52 seconds left in the term and the throw-in right on the 50-metre mark. It's going to be Wren against Cook. They've had a pretty good battle in the first quarter. Maybe Wren's just taken the honours. Cook filling in for the injured Matthew Primus, who made a great debut last week. Bamford to Boyd. Boyd's kick out in front of goal. Not far enough for Hawking. Well, two Crows nearly collided. That's Costa right on the bottom of the pack, who, as I mentioned just moments back, has had a fantastic opening term. 5 and 4. And 9 possessions and 2 marks to Kim Costa. Umpire puts it down. A very crowded Fitzroy forward line. Hogg over the top, their only goal kicker. Oh, Hawking, magnificent leap. But Jamison, who topped the goal kicking for the Crows a few seasons back, gets the ball out of the danger zone away from his teammate there, Bond, for a throw-in on the other side of the ground. The non-attacking one, the non-preferred one if you're going to the Geelong Road goal. Another throw-in. Wren and Cook. Won by the Adelaide player. Bad bounce for Bond. Couldn't handle it. And again, the Crows defenders come in. Descending upon the ball. We'll see another ball up. If there was time. There's not going to be time. Fitzroy on the scoreboard lead. But really the Crows took the honours in the first quarter, I feel. Fitzroy leading 1-3-9. Adelaide 1 behind. Only 1 point.
Stores means Australia's biggest buying power, giving you value every day. And we'll match any local competitor's advertised price.
9 out of 10, out of 10, every time.
Ready?
Yeah, mate. Oh, hang on, I drove Wednesday night. I drove Wednesday night to Simo's. We took some beers, remember? Okay. And Daz drove Saturday night, didn't you, Dad? Yep. Sarah's 21st. I guess that means that you're Thursday night, mate. Thanks, guys.
This is the Random Breath Festival station.
On your next night out, what'll it be? A mate who's not going to drink?
Test is negative, you're free to go.
Or a mate who's going to get caught? Drink drive, what'll it be?
Join the thousands of people paying only 1/3 the price for top quality Belgium rugs.
Nearly $1,000? Not now, only $331. This one, at 1/3 the price, is just $226.
Plus, for this weekend only, every other rug is half price. That's right, half price. This Easter weekend, don't go anywhere else but Goodyear Rugs.
I personally guarantee you'll never buy premium quality rugs at these prices again.
Hurry to Goodyear Rugs. Goodyear Street store open 10 to 5 p.m. including Easter Monday.
What's up, mate? Business getting to you?
1 minute. It would if this fax machine didn't take so long.
You're a bit of a dummy, Nick. For under $1,000, you could have bought a plain paper fax from Brother. Its 10-page memory stores your incoming and outgoing faxes. It has automatic redial and lets you broadcast to up to 70 destinations, giving you more time to get your act together.
Hurry up, you're on. Where were you when I bought this?
In your suitcase, Mick.
For under $1,000, the 1200p plain paper fax from Brother.
You've seen one, but you haven't seen them all till you've seen Plant Connections. Lavender, gardenias, ficus, conifers, the biggest and best of tropical collections. Landscaping, watering systems, sandstone pots, the finest of selections. You name it, chances are you'll find it right now at Plant Connections. For down-to-earth good service, the best value under the sun, you haven't seen it all till you've seen it all in one. At Plant Connections, Rundle Street, Kent Town, come see Plant Connections.
I've got the most popular card in the world. Yep, Visa. Last year there were 380 million people just like me. Now there's 440 million. It's getting scarier.
Someday we'll all be together once more, and all of the ships come back to the shore. I realize something I've always known, still calls Australia.
Ultratune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with Ultratune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers. And the other 2%? Well, we're working on it. Ultratune, in tune with you and your car. 15 locations, all endorsed by the RAA.
And welcome back to the Whitten Oval. At quarter time, just the one goal kicked, and that was by Jeff Hogg. Fitzroy with a very strong northerly breeze at the backs in the first quarter. 1-3 Adelaide into the stiff breeze, just the one behind. Geelong and St Kilda down the highway at Gardenia Park. Late in the first term, the Cats 5-1, 31, St Kilda 4-4, 28. Ablett has one low, 2 for St Kilda. Gary Ablett collecting Bardley, and we understand he had to be stretched off the ground down there, so quite a physical encounter from all reports. North Melbourne and Footscray, that is quarter time, and North Melbourne maybe taking advantage of the breeze there, but of course at the MCG it does swirl around. 7-5 to the Bulldogs, 1 goal. And out at Waverley this afternoon, Hawthorn off target in the first quarter, 1-4, and trailing the Tigers 4-2, 26. Let's go down to Neil Curley on the boundary.
Well, I think even though they didn't score a goal, you had to put it down as the Crows quarter. They worked very hard into the breeze, but they couldn't finish off in front of goals. They had too many slow players up forward. They weren't able to move around. And of course, young Costa, although winning a lot of the ball, his delivery into the forward line was pretty poor. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this quarter with the Crows with the breeze at their back.
Second quarter from the Whitten Oval, and Adelaide attacking with the breeze at their backs in this term. Over the top, Pittman. Let's see how Fitzroy can run it up into this very stiff breeze. Bouncing ball towards the centre wing. Costa, one of their best in the first quarter. That is possession number 11 now for Kim Costa, who knows this ground so well after a stint at Footscray. Kicks down to the forward pocket. Paxman and Wren And Paxman will be more than content to see the ball over the boundary line, which he does in front of the old scoreboard here at the Western Reed Whitten Oval.
A couple of moves by Michael Noon. We have ball now coming across the play on Costa and Jason McCarthy on in the forward line in place of Jared Malloy.
Wren and Paxman. Wren has a ping at goals, but there is a whistle. And the umpire directing it's going to be a free kick to whom? Wren talking to the umpire. Is it going to be his? Or is it Paxman? It's Paxman. Played a very good game, as I mentioned last week, against Jason Dunstall. Hawke Spearhead finished with 5 goals, but Dunstall played really just one good quarter of quality football. Marking contest. Chandler couldn't take it. Opportunity for Wharf. If he can barge his way through. Paddles it forward. Chandler, who was met very heavily when he came on in the first quarter, wobbles the kick down towards half forward. Ellen will take the ball over the boundary line. And the umpire said it's going to be a free kick.
Well, that's the way you called it, Pete. You said he did take it over, and I agree with you.
Lamb, who's just come onto the ground. Hawking, no mark taken. Arguably a free kick. Smart. Impacted with Hart. Now Boyd. Boyd missed out last week, and certainly a welcome reinfusion of their side. Fitzroy. Kick comes up towards full forward, or Jarman got interfered with down there. The umpire lets it go. Jamieson on the bottom will look for a hand pass. No one to give it to. Pittman tries to get back quickly. Might have pushed his opponent in the back. He has done. He fell over. And Brett Chalmers will stand the mark.
Well, very aggressive in at the ball, though. They're quite prepared to get in hard. And John McCarthy being well rewarded for that effort.
Came from North Melbourne, John McCarthy, but hasn't really been able to reproduce some of that form on the North Melbourne under-19s best and fairest in his days there. Now, distance won't be a problem, but reading the wind will. McCarthy from 25 metres out, 45-degree angle, kicks it goal, and it looks pretty good. He's got it.
A premiere night of Australia's finest television. At 7:30, join John and Noni for helpful tips on better homes and gardens. Then Ernie takes you on the best holiday in the great outdoors. 8:30, the aftermath to the loss of a mate.
I fell for him in such a big way.
Mount Thomas is shaken to its core on a brilliant episode of Blue Healers. And at 9:30, the waiting is over. Jana Wendt is here on 7 with Witness. Tuesday's finest television is on 7.
An excellent start to the second quarter by Fitzroy. First goal against the breeze. Exactly what Michael Noonan would have wanted. Now it's another chance. Chandler into the forward line. But a good strong mark by Shane Ellen in defence for the Crows.
Russell, Jason Baldwin has limped off for Fitzroy with looks like a bit of a thigh injury, unfortunately.
That's okay. Over Jarman's head. Now Simon Atkins close to the boundary line. And takes the ball over the line. And a bit of chesty cuts there between Jarman and Atkins. No love lost. Play goes on. Pittman and Cook in ruck. Cook over the top of Pittman and a free kick to him on centre wing. Big long kick driving inside 50. Robin in front, can't mark. Mellington to clean up. Spins out well, off to Johnson now. Taking a leap out of the Crows book, going right across the goal, over to the defensive side. A couple of bounces now for Pike, looking quick. Now looks to set it up over Holmes' head. Lamb, late inclusion for Primus with a full angle. And Jarman straight to the back of Lamb, and it will be a ball up. Sore head, not surprising. Umpire Jamie Love, number 28. Also Hayden Kennedy and John Harvey. Pittman in front. Cook. Pretty scrambly play now. Boyd able to clear it. Over the top of everyone. Ball bouncing close to the line. Rashuto and Morton. Morton gives him a nice little shove and take that out of bounds. Crows will be looking for Rashuto. Another big year from Rashuto this year. If they're going to be a chance for that flag. Very, very good play. Pittman again in front. Jamieson unable to get a kick. Jeff Hogg
Good call there from the umpire, holding the ball, ruling against Jeff Hoggy. He did have the opportunity to handball it, decided against it, brought the ball back in, and then efficiently tackled by Nigel Smart.
Smart kicks up towards centre wing. Darren Jarman keeps his feet. Hawthorn's best and fairest last year. Missing him. But the Crows' game. Wolf now. Kicking long inside 50. Hawking in front. Good spoil by Allen. Hart and Jamison. Crows do it so well. The numbers. Straight to Pittman on centre wing. Lexter playing quickly. Bickley to Darren Jarman. Now Jarman, can he set it up? Yes, he can. Looks for Andrew Jarman, his brother. Takes his eye off the ball. Now Jarman mops up.
Got a free kick to
Robin. Yes.
Robin to take the free kick. And you'd say from there, Terry, if he gets onto even a drop punt, he should be able to just about get the distance. A Torp certainly would.
Yeah, I'd give Matthew Robin a real chance here. I think he has a very good kicking style. He's gone well back to give himself plenty of room.
So let's see what he can do. He'll be 65 metres out when he kicks. Like that 60 about. Drop punt on its way. Looks pretty good. One goal.
When I buy a van, it has to deliver. And I mean deliver. This Mitsubishi Express does it better than ever. It's got tons of power, loads of space, and all the creature comforts. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and I have to make money. That's why I buy Express.
2-3 to 1-1. The difference is 8 points. Again, a free kick to Adelaide out of the centre. It's going to be taken by Pittman. He'll give it to Bickley. Bickley from the circle. Almost slips over there. A little bit of rain in Melbourne this morning. Jarman making himself, or making a nuisance of himself. Johnson. Atkins. Bond cannons into him. On the shoulder. Free kick to Fitzroy to be taken by Simon Atkins. Another player who should know this ground particularly well. Pittman. Oh, absolute shocker. And nearly brain pike. Robin can make it too. Perfect smother. A drill the players practice so often now, and on that occasion bringing just reward. It's going to be a throw-in for Adelaide in its right forward pocket. Excellently done, and rebounding over the line.
And great to see from a player who last year did have some questions about his own personal discipline. Great effort.
Wren taps to the back. Excellent ruck work. Johnson a chance. Almost a very, very good gather. Could be a free kick to the skipper. Umpire lets it go. Boyd gets up quickly. Fitzroy defending in numbers down there. The umpire will bounce it. The Lions have already lost a couple of players through injury. One stretcher case in the first quarter, so they wouldn't want to lose too many more. 13, just under 14 minutes left in the half. Holmes, Chandler, Mellington. You'll need to be quick, son. That's holding the ball. Great tackle. Umpire didn't see it that way, but it was a particularly good tackle. Did he have time to get rid of it?
Well, I think many people here at the venue will say yes, he did.
I'm sure Bill Deller will be looking at that one during the week. Ruck contest. Pittman up high. A little bit of a push there on the shoulder. And Boyd is going to take the free kick. Missed last week. And Tweety Boyd comes out to the wing position. Cook couldn't quite complete the mark. Costa, who made a nuisance of himself in the first quarter. That's 12 possessions for him. McGuinness over the top. Now the umpire stopped play here.
Very good work from the umpire. The free kick was to Costa, and the umpire allowed him to go to see whether advantage would be gained, and he decided no, so then brought it back to the upfield position to Tony McGuinness.
Tony McGuinness from right centre wing for the Crows. Kicks down towards half forward. Mellington, strong mark in front of the approaching Wren. A very good grab.
Mellington, Fitzroy half-back, goes across the goals, looking for that defensive side again. Oh, not a very good kick. Straight through Pike's legs. Now a chance for Adelaide to set a goal up. Tregenza over the top to Bond. Bond puts it up high. And through for one behind.
Yes.
Yeah, Wren took the mark, but he was over the line. So Adelaide third behind. Second bill, 1-2, playing 2-3. 7 points behind, but kicking with a 4 or 5 goal breeze. Straight down the middle is the call, and that's where it goes. Over and on towards the 50. Now Tony McGuinness on the run. Tackled just as he gets his kick, and the ball goes over the boundary line on the full for a Fitzroy free kick to Chris Johnson.
Really, if Adelaide are going to take advantage of big Sean Wren down in the goal square, they need to toss the ball up a little bit higher and just drop it on top of the goal square rather than these longer kicks into the forward line.
Lamb's driving kick out of defence only lands in David Pittman's arms on centre wing for the Crows. Pittman chips in short. Atkins just gets in there. Bickley in front of Bamford, and Bamford does very well to push the ball over the boundary line. Again, Adelaide falling into a bit of a trap, Terry, with that breeze in that pocket.
They are. They're heading into the wrong spot, and Robert Shaw making a change here with Bond coming off and McLeod coming on.
Atkins, good close to the ground, body over the ball. Now it's Bickley into the pocket. McGuinness round the corner, goes inboard looking for Caven, unable to mark. Good clearance by the Fitzroy defence, and it's also too high, and it's a free kick.
Well, at this stage of the first quarter, I was saying that Michael Noonan would have been concerned having not scored a goal, but here we are, some 8 minutes, 10 minutes into the second quarter, and really Adelaide haven't taken advantage of the wind in this quarter at all.
Must be very difficult to handle with that breeze. Good mark in front. No, it's not paid. Bickley now, chance. Kicks blindly in towards the forward line. Punch clear by Chris Johnson from Fitzroy. Here's a chance for McLeod on his left foot. Looks to steady, but drives it wide and out of bounds on the full. Good pressure by the Roys.
So Paxman to take the free kick. 2-3 to 1-2. Steve Paxman, very honest contributor. 5 and 2 so far, his stats. Robran. Bamford taken down at a good tackle by McLeod. Honours even in that exchange. And up by Hayden Kennedy's going to bounce it again. Just outside 50. Ruckman go at it. Ball shuffled out the front of the pack to Chandler. Couldn't get clear. Goes into a player tackle. Lamb watches on. Well, not a high standard of play so far in this match, but in view of the gusty wind, I think we could make allowances. Players from both sides finding it difficult to adjust now. Umpire Kennedy's found a free kick. He had to give one eventually. This is Cook. Cook with the free over the head of Pittman. Knocked down by Smart. Holmes on the run with the hand pass. Kicks long towards centre half forward. McCarthy has it punched away from him, but he's the first to recover. Crows with the numbers. Chalmers, who did an excellent job on Tony Lockett last week.
Great play, Costa.
Robran plays on. Jarman, elusive. Best and fairest for the Hawks last year. Kicks it goal. That looks pretty good. Oh, great goal from Jarman. Superb individual effort.
Low-calorie Diamond Draft.
It's Fitzroy by 1 point, 2-3 to 2-2. Under 10 minutes left in the second quarter. And another ball up, directly in the middle of the ground. Pittman and Cook taken over from Matthew Primus, who was sidelined with an ankle injury. Now it's a chance for Adelaide. They're pushing the ball forward. Fitzroy unable to get purchase of the ball. A lot of pressure. Not the easiest conditions today. Very strong breeze, a northerly, blowing from left to right. Adelaide now playing with that breeze, and I'm sure would love to have a 3 or 4 goal lead at half-time. Martin Pike leading the charges for the Roys. Now Bamford had a good game against Hawthorn last week. Kicks up past centre wing. Over Nigel Smart's head, keeps his feet. Now Jeff Hogg's a chance. Delivers it back to teammates, and the ball is shuffled. It's a free kick to Lamb. Threw his body in.
The tackle from Rashudo just ended up being too high.
Lamb to take the kick, kicks it in long, inside 50. Good punch by Chalmers. Now a chance for McCarthy around the body. Here's an opportunity for the Roys. And also an opportunity for Adelaide and Bickley. Cleans up out towards centre wing. Directly across the other side of the ground. Now Barker and Andrew Jarman. Costa again's had plenty of the ball, been very hard at the ball as well. Tough player. Now Andrew Jarman keeps his feet. Steadies. Gets a slew kick. Now to his brother Darren. Quick hands to Caven. Again to McLeod over the top. To Robrin. Inside 50 to an open goal. Should kick this. Puts it straight through the middle to the Crows. Second. That's his second goal. Adelaide's third. Puts them in front by 5 points. Adelaide 3-2-20 to Fitzroy 2-3-15.
We're just starting to stamp a little bit of authority on this game now, Adelaide. That was probably the best exchange of handballs they've had all afternoon. Quick and sharp, each one of them finding the target. And at the end, Matthew Robin with 2 goals has been very good in this second quarter with the breeze at centre-half there.
2 goals for Matthew Robin. The Crows in front now, leading by 5 points. It's 3-2 to 2-3. Bounce in the centre again, favours Adelaide. McGuinness, Chandler looking for the free kick, won't get one. Now Mellington, hand pass over the top, back it comes to Chandler, who's been pretty good since he came on. Over the head of Bickley, Smart tries to knock it to the boundary line. Rashudo goes at it hard, ball still not there, good tackle applied by Smart, ball hits the deck. The umpire will bounce it. Between wing and right half forward for Fitzroy. Lions against the wind. Adelaide starting to get into, well, top gear, almost top gear. That goal by Jarman and another one by Robert. Pittman and Boyd, one by Boyd. Back to Bamford, across his body. Chalmers in front of McCarthy. McCarthy recovers well and did well to get a boot at the ball. Hart had it, lost it, tackled. Well played by Hawking, still he goes. Might be a free kick, is it? Against Ben Harper in the back, no. The ball up 35 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. Certainly to this stage of the match, the wind not having the influence on it that we expected. It's just the 5 goals kicked so far. Ball jarred free after Holmes had it. Picked up by Smart. Marking contest almost at midfield. Plenty of weight being used in the patch. Wharf overruns it. Kick away by Costa after the hand pass came from Jarman. Oh, good mark. Robin having a purple patch in front of Mellington this time. Let him go, son. Costa. Well, shaping up as one of the best on the ground. Still he goes, Kim Costa. He knows the ground pretty well and he puts it right through. Great goal.
Together once more, when all of the ships come back to the shore, and I realize something that I've always known,
Kim Costa's first, that was his 13th possession. Easily best on the ground for the Crows so far. Having a field day at his old stamping ground, the Whitten Oval. Now, Robrin leading the run for the ball. Mellington. Fitzroy, can they clean up? Can they get another score? We've got 5.5 minutes left in the first half. And the ball goes out of bounds on the full. That will not help the Roys.
Plenty of Crows supporters out there.
Bickley plays on quickly on centre wing. Drives it inside 50, left half forward. Good punch by Paxman. Martin Pike to Chandler, back to Pike, close to the boundary line, and it beats them all over. About 65 metres around from the Adelaide goal. Adelaide just kicked 4 goals this quarter. Goalless in the first. Fitzroy kicked 1 in the first and 1 in the second. 2-3 plays 4-2. Andrew Jarman, clever off the ground. Fitzroy for a throw. Ping. Jars.
Muriel Litterin would have been proud of that one, I think.
Brad Boyd to take the free kick. Missing last week. Fitzroy needs something large from him today. Goes in short. Darren Holmes. 25 handballs last week. A great game from him against Hawthorn, but unfortunately not good enough for him to win. Holmes chips to Johnson. Back to Hogg. Good interception by Smart. Very clever play by him. Atkins now over the top to Hogg. Hogg now a chance to set it up. Bad bounce for John Barker. McGuinness in front. Can't keep his feet. Big pressure. Good work by Fitzroy. Now Simon Hawking goes one-handed. McCarthy in with the boots. Lamb can't pick it up. Stacks on the mill. Good defence by Adelaide. And a ball up just inside 50.
4.5 minutes left in the half. The Crows leading by just under 2 goals. Points to be precise. As they crowd the Fitzroy forward line. Knocked away by Cook. Brigenz's kick comes up towards midfield. Fitzroy looking to get one on the scoreboard before half-time. Barker drops the kick. Crows are going to clear it again. Delivered out towards centre wing. Looking for a free kick was Caven. Didn't get one. War had it, lost it. Brigenza will do something with it. Jarman. Both Jarmans are there. McLeod has a snap at goal. That's off target or behind, maybe. No, it's out on the full. So a free kick to Fitzroy. The last line of defence will be taken probably by Johnson. In fact, it will be. Who was holding who, Terry?
Very hard one to call there, and I think I did the right thing, let it right. Adelaide really have got a problem down at full forward, though, in my opinion. Sean Rennan, he just isn't a full forward. They've got to find something there to make a difference.
So they're missing Modra, of course.
Yes, badly. Johnson runs off.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Fair call. The rule is once the player steps out of their playing arena to find room for his kick, and Chris Johnson does that, the umpire then gives him 5 metres grace, pulls the man back over the mark. The payoff is that he has to kick over the man on the mark.
So 3.5 minutes left now in the half. Johnson's kick into the breeze. Travels only 40 metres. Pike falls out of the front of the pack. McLeod down towards Liptak. Jarman turns on a threepenny bit and kicks cruelly for a goal.
Norman May,
Win.
legend,
Win.
the voice of goal.
Win.
Norman, win
The big one, Bruce. With McDonald's Olympic McNutcheon win, I can scratch and win a trip to Atlanta. Or one of 8 Honda Odysseys. 40 Air New Zealand family holidays to LA. 50 IBM family PC packages with software. Or one of 300 Sony PlayStation packages. And thousands of other great prizes.
It's easy to win in McDonald's Olympic McMatch and win.
By 17 points. 3.5 minutes left in this first half at the Whitten Oval. Fitzroy unable to get the ball. Atkins doing a lot of body work now. Boyd. Chips. Over the top of Bamford's head. Now he's able to get the ball. Morton. High ball inside 50. Chance for Fitzroy now. Now it's Lamb. Well shepherded by McCarthy. And he puts it through. Great goal by Wayne Lamb. Fitzroy needed that one. That's their third. And Lamb, being a late inclusion for Primus, kicks his first for the match.
Well, going up into the breeze, there's not going to be any pretty goals. The way in which you get goals is by just continually forcing the ball forward. And we saw both Chandler and Morton being the players in there, being prepared to throw themselves in and just flick it on. Lamb running with the flow, got onto the end of it.
And the difference back to 11 points at the Whitten Oval. Fitzroy scoring the only 2 goals so far in the contest against the breeze, or wind is a bit stronger than that. There he is, Lamb again, down to Bamford, gives it off to Chandler. Distance will be too far. Hawking takes a good mark out in front of Hart. Turns quickly, gets it moving quickly. Oh, that is a superb mark by Jamison, running with the flight of the ball. And Jamison, out to the Crows' best player so far in Costa. Still they go. Tregenza now from right centre wing. The match has moved up a cog or two, hasn't it? This is Holmes. Russell mentioned his hand passes last week. Plenty of them. Oh, that's a good mark taken by Costa. He is absolutely in everything. Russell's stats.
8 kicks and 6 handballs, 5 marks, Peter.
That's fantastic. And we're not at the half-time siren yet. Mind you, it's not too far away. Robin gets front posse. Ball twisted away. McGuinness. Ball hits the deck again. The guys in the crew cuts are doing well. McLeod down towards full forward. Good use of the body by Jarman. Got rid of his opponent. And the two Jarman brothers, their stats are nearly alike. Andrews had 5 and 5. And Darren, who's got the ball now, is 8 and 5. And he should be able to kick another goal.
Gee, there was a lot of pushing and shoving going on there. Chrissy Johnson lost his footing.
Jarman kicks. So the Jarman brothers have 4 between them. 2 to Darren and... well, 3 between them, and Andrew has 1. It's 6-2 to 3-3, and the difference back out to 17 points now, 38 to 21.
It's always a tough one, this one. Here you'll just see the 2 players there, both pushing, and Johnson looking to work his body back against Jarman to hold that advantage size. Just the finest little step from Darren Jarman, and Chris Johnson missed him, went to ground. Jarman, the last man standing, takes the rewards.
Good break for Adelaide. 17 points. But maybe it should be more with this strong breeze. But the way the game's gone, it seems to be very unsettling as well. Now, Boyd off to Chandler. Responsible for Wayne Lamb's goal before. Now Atkins. On to Lamb again. There's the goal kicker. Good interception by Smart. Very good defender for the Crows, that Nigel Smart.
Very good. And Robert Shaw has restructured his forward line. They're both Jarmans. There's only 2 Crow players inside 50 metres. And Wren now moving up around the centre of the ground.
Smart celebrating his 100th game. Congratulations to him. Now Morton to Hogg. Tries to chip it. Looking for Barker. Unable to take it. Good defence by Hart. Good, strong, solid defence. Now McLeod. Hands in front. Off to Robin. Very quick play. Now looking for Andrew Jarman in the pocket. And a beautiful pass by Robin. Finds him on the chest.
Good. Robin's had a good quarter, hasn't he, Terry?
He's been very good, particularly when we consider that Robert Shaw took him off in the first quarter because he felt his forward line was too tall going up into the breeze, and Matthew Robin took that on the chin, so to speak, and has come out all guns blazing in the second quarter.
Great setup by McLeod. Took the ball on his hands from half forward, straight off to Robin. Now Jarman lining up for his second. Deliberate angle. And that looks pretty good. It is a goal to Andrew Jarman. There it is. Adelaide 7.
Three players have kicked 2. Andrew Jarman, Darren Jarman, and Matthew Robin, and Kim Costa, probably their best player to half-time, has kicked the 1 goal. And as we watch that in replay, a perfect pass. Not much you can do about that, and Jarman leading right to it, lace up on the chest. So at the main change, it's the Crows leading 7-2-44. Goalless in the first quarter, so a good chord by them with the win. They used it better than the Roys. They are 3-3-21, the difference 23 points at the main change.
MobileNet. MobileNet. Price to fit every pocket.
At True Value Hardware's Easter sale, you get real service. And on top of that, real savings too.
Ryobi angle grinder just $89.95. Sally's No More Gaps $3.95. And Yates Weed and Feed 10 kilos for just $7.95.
Savings and service. I don't get any happier than this. Whoa!
True Value Hardware, where you still get service.
Get your catalogue now.
Who sells more new cars and trucks than anyone? Your Ford dealer. And they take in more used vehicles than anyone. They keep the best and wholesale the rest. So, for A1 quality and selection in a used car or truck, see your Ford dealer. That's why Ford's in front.
For goodness sake, I got the hippie, hippie shake. Woo! I got to shake. The hippie, hippie shake.
Cat is playing the blues longer than me, all sure. I'd like to see that.
Clubs full of guys with great bodies? Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I hear you guys worship Aussie rules. Hey! What sort of religion is that?
A game that's lasted longer than me. I'd like to see that.
Unbelievable.
Okay, Hit Machine 12 is right on target with 20 of today's biggest. Including Oasis, TLC, Benny Hines, Coolio and Dreamworld. Plus Swoop, Real McCoy, Kate Sobrano, Garbage, The Out There Brothers, M People and more. Get a fix on 20 max tracks with Hit Machine 12. Out now.
Welcome to VIP Home Services. How can I help you?
I'd like my lawns cut, please.
Certainly.
VIP lawn mowing from $7 a week. Plus, we can handle all your gardening needs. Call VIP 13 26 13.
We'll do your homework for you. Your Big Colour Pages is so big, it lists all businesses. It's so cleverly designed, it's all in one compact book. Next time, think big. It's quicker.
9 out of 10, out of 10.
Now's the time to make your Easter project 10 out of 10 with the Ryobi Bench Grinder. Sharp value at $69.90. Trojan's heavy-duty block splitter at Axe, just $22 each. And Gutter Guard keeps gutters leak-free, $1.90 for 8 metres. Anything you need to know, just ask.
We'll help make your project 10 out of 10 every time.
For great Easter projects, see our big catalogue out now.
9 out of 10, out of 10, every time.
And at the Whitten Oval, 23 points the difference at half-time. Casting your mind back to last week, Fitzroy led by 23 points at the main change, but they lost the game. Perhaps they'll be hoping that's a good omen. 3 other matches are being played in Melbourne today, and let's go to the half-time roundup. First of all to the MCG, North Melbourne and Fitzroy. Let's see some highlights from the G.
Quick kick again by Freeborn to Scholl to kick a goal. 40 metres out. He has. Croc, a good stretch. It's well played though by Sir. Armstrong held up a little by West. Scholl getting kicks, goes to full forward. Carey one out. Well, he was about 3s on in the run, wasn't he? He's tucked away in the pocket, but he should go. They like it. He's got it.
I think Liberatore gets underneath and he gets them going. Now, there's some criticism as West kicks Footscray into attack. Grant this time couldn't take it on the second grab. At ground level, Callett, quick snap. Footscray, can they score? Backing back is Mighty McMartin. That's bounced through. That's a plan, no doubt, that Freeborn can run through the centre square. He's been an outstanding player. Kicks long, too far. Running onto the ball is the champ, and he's kicked it.
Rocket about 50 now. He's not a long kick. No one on the mark helps a bit. Gets to 45, could go right for goal. Kicks it. It's another one.
Certainly one-way traffic there at the MCG. North Melbourne 15-7. Fitzroy goalless in the second quarter. Kicked just 5 behinds. Carey has 4 goals for the Roos. Down at Cardinia Park this afternoon, the Saints trying to win their first match there since 1988. Let's see some highlights. Their commentators are Dennis Cometti, Ian Robinson and Gerard Healy.
Neil knocked it down into the path of Winmar. Bacon goal square. Will it run on? Yes, it has. Marvellous kick.
No one on the mark, so Pickering runs right up to where the mark was going to be. Shanahan punches away. In goes Brewer. Good gather in the finish. Ablett. Manufacture. Gary Ablett! What a goal!
For Winmar. Surrounded by about 5 cats. That was clever by Brewer to Ablett, falling to the ground. A kick towards full forward. Neil takes the mark. And Bardsley seems to be...
Well, Geelong will get away from the centre. Pickering, Tanner and now McKinnon. McKinnon with space. Goes directly towards goal. The leading Ablett, punched away by Shanahan. Crumbs to be gathered by Colbert. Unselfishly to McKinnon off his left foot. The favoured side. Good kick, McKinnon. Geelong goal. So the ruckman at it in the forward line for Geelong. The ball comes out down towards full forward. Ablett, the bounce favours him. And it just turns Shanahan inside out and then kicks a goal. Was that looked easy or what?
And Gary Ablett has 4 goals out of the Cats' tally of 13. 13-4 plays St Kilda 8-10. Stewie Lowe has 3 for the Saints. As we go out to Waverley now, Hawthorn playing Richmond out there today. And our commentators at the ground, Peter McKenna, Drew Morfitt and Ross Glendinning, some highlights of the first 2 terms.
Callaway to the half-forward line. It's all Richmond on their own, 2 of them. And Richardson marks, and gee, Ken Judge would be spitting chips about that one. And another man on his own in Charles. He gives it off to Nash. Nash hooks it around the corner up in front of goal. The high markers are there. And Brendan Gale has marked. Gale from directly in front for his first. And has done so.
Here he goes for number 5. Good hand pass to Knights. Bounces it up to half-back. Centre of the ground is Bullis with a paddock in front of himself. Wood's trying to close the gap. Bullis, well done. The hand pass pretty slick for Gale. Made it tough for him. He tapped it in. Bullis followed up. Don't tell me Paul Bullis might kick a goal. Good effort. Great goal. Wow, how about that? Thumps the ball out of defence. Centre of the ground. It sits on its end. Treleaven a good hand pass. Jenke up from defence. Just rides the tackle. Goes for a bounce with confidence. From half forward to Dunstall. On the bounce. The hand pass unselfishly. And Andy Collins for goal. We've had some unusual goal scorers in the game.
Collins and Bullis kicking goals. You might have got long odds on that before the match started, but the Hawks in a bit of trouble out there. 3-9 to the Runaway Tigers. 8-5-53 at half-time. That's the half-time roundup of the 3 other games being played in Melbourne today. The Crows doing it well here at the Whitten Oval. We'll take a break. Back with more after this.
Mitre 10's paint shop. We'll help you with the right colour selection, the right product, the right preparation, so you'll get a 10 out of 10 finish every time.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Cat is playing the blues longer than me, all sure. I'd like to see that.
Clubs full of guys with great bodies? Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I hear you guys worship Aussie rules. Hey, what sort of religion is that?
A game that's lasted longer than me. I'd like to see that.
Adelaide's Bank not only offers these great fixed home loan rates, there's also no hidden trap because at the end of the fixed rate period, you'll have the option to refix. Talk to us about your Adelaide home loan. Adelaide Bank. Adelaide's Bank.
This 15 seconds of happiness is brought to you by bananas. Just 1.5 bananas a day is your daily requirement of vitamin B6, the good mood vitamin. Bananas, nature's wonder fruit.
Australia is big. Our big rock, our big reef, our big banana, and our big colour pages lists all businesses all in one compact directory. Next time, think big. It's quicker.
Right now at Pizza Haven, we're having one of our biggest offers ever. For a limited time, we'll give you a large extra supreme, a large Hawaiian, garlic bread, and lasagna. Plus, we'll throw in a bottle of Coke and a chocolate Bavarian dessert. All for $19.90, delivered free. That's not supreme value, that's mega value.
For a great deal on a great meal, spend the night in front of the box. 131 2 for 1. We'll save it now, baby. Save it now, baby. Sip and save. Sip and save.
This week, sip and save with Han Ice with free sunglasses, a cool $25.99. And check out the price of Jack Daniels, just $30.99. St Agnes Brandy, $18.99. Stanley Casks, 4 litres of value at $9.99. And Yellow Glen Champagne, $11.99.
Fitzroy trailing by 23 points at half-time. 7 goals won. Kicked by Adelaide during the second quarter with the breeze. Looking at the windsock, it appears to have just moved a little bit. Westerly change was forecast for later. Down the highway at Cardinia Park, we gave you a score that wasn't the half-time score. Geelong kicking 3 late goals in that second quarter. That now is the half-time break. And a big one it is, to Geelong over St Kilda, 16-4 to St Kilda's 8-10. And Gary Ablett, as I said, in the action in more ways than one. He's got 4 goals so far. In fact, he might have got a couple more in those late ones. So, a big quarter, particularly for Fitzroy, gentlemen, isn't it? If they're to get back into this match, they've got to get some quick goals and probably go to three-quarter time with a lead of about 3 or 4, if that's possible.
They do, Peter. Look, their forward structure really, even throughout last year, playing here at the Western Oval, I think 10 or 11 goals has been their best return. And they've got to start to build upon that. Hogg coming out the centre half forward looked good early. Hawking at full forward's a chance. But some of the other players, Malloy needs a little bit more. And John Barker, playing well up the ground, needs to get himself close to goal at times.
Neil Curley's ready for us down the boundary line. Curl, I mentioned the wind may have shifted a little. Is that the case, or is it still strongly?
Well, it's just dropped off a bit, Pete. No, it has died, which northerlies do normally in the afternoon. So there's not the real strength that was there early. But full marks to Mickey Noonan for his coaching style that in that particular half, because he had the packs hunting and preventing the Crows from trying to break away in their free-flowing game. And he did that very, very well. But towards the end there, we saw the Crows start to get the ball out to running players. And if they continue in that fashion this half, I think they'd go away from Fitzroy at this stage.
How did you see Robin's game in the second quarter? That's some of the best football I've seen from him.
Well, he's capable of that, and he just needs time to settle. He's not a particularly confident boy, but once he gets a sniff of it, he really can play footy. And some of his takes and some of his kicking is always faultless. His delivery of the ball, whether it be hand or foot, is normally always very, very good. And I think we have a player who may fill that spot that the Crows, that has troubled the Crows for quite some time.
They'd be very happy with Kim Costa's first half, I would think.
Well, he's a great pickup, isn't he? Like, he's really the best player on the ground at this stage. His work rate is fantastic, and if he can just improve his delivery a bit, particularly with his foot, he's going to be a very valuable player. It'll be interesting to see if they start with the big fella Wren in front of goals. I don't think they will. We found in the first quarter he was at sea there, particularly when the ball came to ground. He didn't have the ability and agility on the ground. I think they'll start with a smaller player there and maybe Wren in ruck for back play.
Okay, thanks, Curls. Second half just about to get underway, and Wren is going to start in the ruck.
And Robert Shaw for Adelaide has really opened up with a very small forward line. The two Jarmans, Edwards is up there, McLeod's there, Robin being the only tall in the six.
Adelaide leading by 23 points as we begin the second half of the match here at the Whitten Oval. Well, both ruckmen had a big swing and a miss. Wren and Cook. Bamford on the ground. Bond dives on it. Now Cook, hurried hand pass to McCarthy. Costa right on his hammer. Applies a tackle. Now it comes out to Jamison from Cregenza. The bounces by Rod Jamison. Johnson mops up nicely. Nice balk. Ground a little bit slippery after some overnight and early morning rain. Pass to Cook is effective. Hasn't got over the mark. Now he has. The umpire calls him to play on. Could have done better with the kick. A real up and under job. Holmes was the big flyer. Goes to Fitz. Mops up again. Smart to Jarman. Spears the pass into his brother. He'll get a free kick because he was taken high by Paxman. Umpire calls advantage. Having a shot at goal down there was Tyson Edwards on the ground, and he puts it through. Well, that was just what Fitzroy didn't want. 8-2 to 3-3, and just what the Crows did. Their first goal against the wind.
Peter, and the Fitzroy defence just lost the plot just a little bit there in trying to reorganise themselves to get good matchups one-on-one with this new revamped Crows forward line for this second half. They just missed Andrew Jarman for a moment. He slipped out the side door, so to speak, and had enough room there to be able to deliver the ball towards his brother, and well capped off there by Edwards, who came off the bench.
Tyson Edwards, 1 kick, 1 goal. Great stats for him. Cook and Wren. Cook this time gets the benefit of a slight wayward bounce. Now Bickley to lip tack. Has a bit of time now to steady. Martin Pike now runs around his opponent and gets a nice left foot kick up towards centre wing, but only to hit straight back to Bickley. Bit of kick to kick. Bickley off to Rashudo quickly. Up towards 50. And man in front is Fitzroy. Wharf it was. Centre wing now for McCarthy. Quick handball, putting Atkins under a bit of pressure. Tregenza in front, taps it towards the boundary line. Good defence by Tregenza, and takes the ball over the line for a throw in. A couple of minutes gone in this second half. Adelaide already have 1 goal on the board to Tyson Edwards. Ran a fresh air shot. Now Simon Atkins tackled very quickly. Lip tack to clean up. Rashuto on his left foot. It's pretty good. Robin and Mellington. Mellington gets the front position. Good defensive work. His head is driven 3 feet under the ground. Hope he's okay. I shouldn't laugh, but he's okay. A ball up.
Chief Littlewolf would have been happy with that.
Chief who?
He's a wrestler.
Anyway, Bond's back on the ground. Gets a rush left foot kick. They're all slipping over. Peter mentioned a bit of rain. McLeod now in front of goal. Deliberate shot. And lose it to the left for 1 behind.
McLeod's first score. Been busy though, just the same. 5 and 4. Difference is out to 5 goals now after it was 23 points at half-time. But remember, that's what Fitzroy trailed by or led by last week, and they won the match. So that's going to happen today. Paxman kicks in straight down the ground. Bamford has got speed. He'll need it to get clear of Bond. Good long kick straight down the spine of the field. Marking contest down there. Hawking was in front. Paddles it to the advantage of Lamb. Holt now, who kicked their first goal. A real 9-iron shot up towards full forward. Umpire says no mark paid. Lamb a chance for his second. Snaps and kicks truly.
Four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, petrol or diesel, outback or in business, you can trust a Triton double cab ute.
Wayne Lamb's second goal. 1 in the second quarter and that one in the third quarter. Now a chance for the Royals again. Atkins gets a long bomb into the forward line. Some good mopping up down here. Danny Morton. What a great kick. Great roving by Morton. The ball hit the pad, he hit it at full speed, took it on his left and put it through.
So the difference back was 3 goals now. 2 very quick goals for Fitzroy inside the first few minutes of the quarter.
Well, that was some good roving right in amongst it there. I mean, it's been a long, hard road for Danny Danny Morton, formerly from North Adelaide, and he'd certainly like to have a victory here over the former home state. But good roving work in at the foot of the contest. 2 consecutive goals now to Fitzroy.
Good choice, fifth. 5-3 plays 8-3. Wren gets the knock. Atkins knocks it back. Bickley. Rush kick up towards the forward line for the Crows. It's Pike and McLeod. McLeod very desperate there. Dives on the ball. Great effort by McLeod and gets a kick. Great effort by McLeod. Rodman now over the top to Jarman. Jarman, as casual as you like, drives it straight through for the Crows 9.
That's his third. So the Germans have 5 between them. 3 to Darren, 2 to Andrew, and Adelaide with the quick reply. It's back out to 4 goals.
McLeod's been very good.
He has, hasn't he?
Gee, he has. I'm not exactly sure where we look at his stats. There's 6 kicks, 4 handballs, but he's been a real live wire at different times across half forward, and particularly with these conditions, that half forward line with those small quicks there, and the 2 Jarman boys up in the goal square. You know, Adelaide can do some real damage into this breeze now.
Robin also figured in that. He's kicked 2 goals. 57 plays 33 in favour of the Crows at the Whitten Oval. Robin again, almost a throw that one. In fact, that's what the umpire has played. Just a little flip up with both hands. Boyd gives it back to Atkins, who'll take the free kick at centre half back. No, he won't. Hamilton's going to take it. Well, he's gone over the mark. Crowd giving him plenty of advice. Goes in short. Umpire calls play on, if it does. Boyd's kick to half forward. Regenta. Smart. Bond. Out wide to Costa. He's making some sort of a statement. McGuinness. 2 former Fitzroy players. McGuinness, oh, look at that raking left foot into the breeze. Jarman. Big leap. Fitzroy player was shepherded out. Paxman, he'll get a free kick. Now he plays off. Finds Barker in the right back pocket. Fitzroy running the ball out well now. Barker's kick, a little bit up and under. Could have done better with that. One-on-one marking duel on centre wing. No player can bring it down. Almost a clash of heads there. Jamieson breaks away with a footy, but the boundary umpire said he was over the line. McCarthy advised the tackle. It's going to be a throw-in on centre wing. Not Jamieson, 8-2. Fitzroy fans finding voice. They love a win. The last team they beat was Adelaide. That was over at Football Park. Jamieson hacks it out of the air. Kick up towards half forward. Johnson missed it. McLeod again. A little give. Pregenza, good on the run. Kicks down towards Jarman. Can't take the mark. Paxman looking for someone going past. There was no one there. Ball bounces, well, rather fickle. Lamb snared by Jarman when he didn't have it. And it will come back. It might be 50 at will. It's against his brother. And the crowd, well, they certainly love that. And we'll see the free kick here. Lamb had it. He saw Jarman encroaching, or approaching, got rid of it. His brother picked it up and kicked it, but the whistle had gone, and hence the 50. Well, can Fitzroy come again? Johnson on centre wing does. Kicks down towards centre half forward. Marking contest. None can bring it down. Oh, hard. Got nailed. Out to Hawking. It'll need to bounce through. If it's to go there, it bounces one way, the other. Yes! Off break, left break, straight through. Thanks very much.
Thomas Vale had a loving wife, a beautiful home, friends he could trust. Until the night his identity was stolen, his life erased.
How far does this go?
Trapped in a conspiracy, stranger than any X-File.
You have no idea what you're up against.
A fugitive with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And you're all in this together, aren't you? Every one of you.
Bruce Greenwood stars in the spellbinding movie-length series premiere. Nowhere Man, 8:30 Sunday on Channel 7.
Hawking's first goal for the day. Traditionally a fullback, kicked 3 against Hawthorn last week, so they'll be looking for more from him. Bickley out of the centre now. Inside 50. Oh, good marks of Jarman. Great body work in front of Paxman. Very casual, but what a champion. Hawthorn best and fairest last year.
Kicked 3 today. His brother's got 2.
And just killed the party. Yeah, there was a real atmosphere just going here. The Roy's on a roll. And there was Darren Jarman looking to kick his second for the quarter.
Directly in front, 35 metres. And straight through the middle it is for the Crows' 10th goal.
Neil Curley said the wind had dropped a little bit, and he's right, because Jarman had no trouble with the distance there.
Darren Jarman's 4th and becoming a very, very influential player today.
The recruiting by Adelaide over the summer is really on the show here. Jarman, obviously a class player. Kim Costa playing on the wing has given some very tough, aggressive play to the game. Two very good acquisitions.
Well, the scores are seesawing. It's back to 24 points of difference in favour of the Crows. Wren on the bottom of the pack. Cook, good clever work. Now Bamford, bit of speed, looking for McCarthy. Takes one high. Play on it is to Bamford on the burst. Left foot in forward, looking for Malloy. No mark now. Here's a chance. It's Morton again. Round the corner for Morton. What a great goal! Fantastic stuff by the Roys.
Well, when they've got it out of the centre of the Roys, they've got the last goals. And Morton, 2 good snaps in this quarter. He's got 2 for the match. Wayne Lamb also has 2. So the best quarter of footy for the day after a scrambly first half, Terry.
Yeah, and this is very good, Fitzroy. The question had to have been asked of them by their coach Michael Noonan at half-time. When you look back at their performance last week against Hawthorn, where they did fade out after the half-time interval, he would have asked for a real concerted effort to open up this third quarter, and his players have responded in such a manner that have given them some 4 goals in the quarter.
Back to 3 goals the difference. Centre bounce all important here. When the Crows have got it out, they've goaled. Lamb chases. McCarthy shepherds. Lamb across his body, but out towards the wing, and it bounces just inside in front of McGuinness, and also Costa, 2 of the Crows' best today. McGuinness 11 kicks to half-time, and it's out of bounds between wing and left half forward for Fitzroy. So the match certainly moving up 2 or 3 gears in this third term. It's going to be Wren with Cook. Wren taps it down. Rasciuto, nice ball. Quick hands to Costa. Johnson. Mark Endell free kick, got one on the back of the neck, lays it off. Mellington. He runs into a trainer. Transfers play to the grandstand side of the ground. Bounce is going to be important here. Jarman can't get back. It's Wall. A hurried hand pass. Now a chance down there for Edwards, who kicked the goal with his first kick onto Caven, who's had a stint on the bench. Back to Jarman. Also one of the best on the ground with his 4 goals. He can make it 5 here. A couple of bounces. Still he goes and kicks and goals. Great footy from Jarman.
UltraTune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with UltraTune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers. And the other 2%? Well, we're working on it. UltraTune, in tune with you and your car. 15 locations, all endorsed by the RAA.
Darren Jarman just kicked his 5th and 3rd for the quarter. Very close to best on ground performance, but very close with Kim Costa, who had a fantastic first half for Adelaide. Good tackle by Lamb. Umpire called play on McGuinness. And a ball up. Could have gone either way. McGuinness is not real happy about that. Centre wing directly in front of the old coach's box. 11-3 plays 7-3. 4 goals the difference. Adelaide's favour. Now Martin Pike a chance to set up for the Roys. A smothered off the boot straight to Sean Wren. Good pressure. Feigns the handball. Chips in short looking for McLeod. One hand up, can't grab it. McGuinness. Now it's Morton. Kicked a couple this quarter. Chandler over the top. Now Martin Pike on the burst inside 50. Looks long. Looks to goal. And touched on the line by Chalmers. Very, very good play. Good defensive work. And one behind to Fitzroy.
Gee, we haven't Fitzroy really come. I mean, the game has really come to life here now, and both sides have gone up a cog or 2. The scoring has really improved. Both sides, great performance at this point in time in the third quarter.
Smart.
Difference is still 23 points, which is what it was at half-time too.
Smart chips out wide. Finds Sean Wren. Spent a bit of time out on that outer wing to Bond. Bond, 6 and 2, spent a bit of time on the bench. Kicks up long inside 50. Oh, good body work by Caven. Been quiet so far today. Kicked 4 against Hawthorn last week. Plays on quickly, looking for Andrew Jarman. Oh, beautiful handball to McLeod. Unable to get away to Darren Jarman. Can he kick his 6th? No. Swings around and one behind.
First miss with Darren Jarman. McLeod with a good turn of speed there to set up the opportunity. The difference back to 4 goals. 46 plays 70. Paxman will kick in again. And we're only halfway through the third quarter.
It wasn't a bad miss though, Pete, was it? She was curling nicely. It was very well executed. Very well.
Caven in front. Couldn't take the mark. And here's McLeod's lookalike Chandler onto Atkins. The hand pass a little bit too severe for the Axe. Gets it back to Chandler, who started on the bench, but he's done well since he came on. Kicks towards full forward. Mark almost taken by Hawking. Hand pass to Hogg, who kicked the first goal. Evan went without it. Now Smart. Smart's kick to Caven. Caven from a standing start. Hugs the boundary line with a kick, nearly puts it over. The mark taken by Tyson Edwards. Edwards centering kick. Excellent vision out there. Could set up another opportunity, this time for Bickley against the breeze. Low trajectory drop punt up towards full forward. Jarman again! And kicks it.
Whatever you drive and wherever you drive it, you can be confident of the protection of Mobil oils to not only keep you moving, but to keep the world turning.
Adelaide's lead's blown out to 30 points. Jarman has just kicked his 4th for the third quarter and could be best on ground. Just in front of Kim Costa. Now, chance for Boyd. Drops the mark, one he should have taken. Able to spin around Hart. Throws it in short and a good pass to Hawking. Quite a tough angle. Probably about 35 to 40 metres out.
Judging by that windsock, Russell LeBreeze is right at his back.
So the Roys do need this one. Will be their 8th. Not a bad looking kick, but I think it's going right across the face of goal, and one behind it is. Hawking. He's kicked 1 this quarter, and his first behind. 29 points the difference. We're 9 minutes left in the third quarter. And Adelaide have done very, very well. They've kicked 5 against the breeze. Long kick out. Oh, great leap though. He was Hawking. And a ball up on the 55.
9 minutes remaining in the quarter. At half-time it was 7-2 to 3-3 in favour of Adelaide. It's now 12-4 to 7-5. And some great football played by both sides. The standout player of the term, Jarman. How many more can he get? Costa gets Collar. Holding the ball goes Fitzroy's way. Lamb may take it. Or Hogg may take it. Not sure who's going to get it here. Hogg applies the tackle.
Great tackle, wasn't it? Technically. Head tucked in the back to protect himself.
Jeff Hogg, who kicked the first goal of the match. Malloy was wrestling down there with Chalmers. And another rush behind. The Fitzroy total.
He's really having a dirty day, Jared Malloy, isn't he? Hasn't taken a mark or a kick yet.
Well, you mentioned at the start of the match that if Fitzroy were going to be competitive, it was players like him and McCarthy that had to, shine out. Ben Hart will kick in to the defensive or outer side with the northerly. And Caven takes the mark for the running Wren. Yes, I said it. Running Wren to Bickley. Shepherds for McGuinness. Cook gives chase. Bond disappointed at being left out of Carlton's grand final side last year. Andrew Jarman plays the ball in front of him, looking for the free kick. The Royals are going to run it out. Atkins gives it over to Barker. For Pike. Long bomb towards the centre wing position. And there's really no contest for Smart. making better position. Nigel Smart kick, marked by Costa. There's players everywhere. Rashudo from Liptak up towards full forward. Andrew Jarman and McGuinness on his non-preferred right foot. Now he gets onto his left, snaps and kicks it.
When I buy a van, it has to deliver. And I mean deliver. This Mitsubishi Express does it better than ever. It's got tons of power, loads of space, and all the creature comforts. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and I have to make money. That's why I buy Express.
McGuinness is first. And Adelaide's 13th. Ball now a chance for Fitzroy. Here it is from Malloy's first kick. That's only one behind. You mentioned, Terry, that we needed more.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity, wasn't it? You know, the contest in the air, kept the front position and gained the second go at the ball after the ball came down onto the left, couldn't convert.
Chalmers kicks out wide, ball a bit too easy to Ben Hart. No one within metres of him. Off to Bond. Over the top now to Pittman, who's just come on to replace Wren. Now it's inside Adelaide's 50. Good body work by Paxman on Jarman. Jarman's already kicked 4 goals this quarter and 6 for the game. Now it's Caven. Good handball back to Allen. Setting it up now for the Crows inside 50 again. It's Robin with the body and the set. Unable to take it. In front of Mellington. Now Bond a chance from 45. Andrew Jarman. Hands in front of the face. And a good mark to Jarman. And a chance for him to kick his third. Both goals kicked in the second quarter. Jarman is about 30 metres out on a pretty acute angle. But should kick this. Very classy player. Off the side of the boot. The Fitzroy crowd love it. And out of bounds on the foot.
There's under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Johnson takes the free kick, goes in short and finds Holmes. He was unable to stop Jarman in that marking contest. He's gone out wide. Chandler over the head of Costa to Barker. Barker's hand pass sets up the skipper onto Hogg. Now they run it down with a chain of hand passes. Big Cook lumbers forward, kicks down towards the full forward position. Jamison's going to run it out. It came off the hands of Brett Chalmers. 9 kicks to Rodney Jamison. 7-7 to 13-4 in favour of the Crows. They look like getting revenge for losing at home last year to Fitzroy. That match one of only 2 that the Lions won during season 1995. Rashuto from a standing start. Boyd goes short and finds Lamb, who's kicked 2 goals for Fitzroy. I was going to say maybe too far out to score, but the breeze has dropped a little bit. Let's see what he can do with a long bomb into the goal square. Marking contest, they need Rovers. Morton's there. Snap! That wasn't from him, it came from Malloy, and he's kicked it. Only his second kick for the day, second for the quarter, and Fitzroy's 8th goal. It's 8-7 to 13-4.
Well, good on him. And Wayne Lamb just on screen there. He's been very valuable coming off the bench. He's given Fitzroy a lot here. This is a good piece of play. You know, the back position, I'm not all that sure about that. But the important thing was Jeremy Lloyd kept his feet, and so he stayed in the contest, was then the first man to get go at the loose ball, nicely around the corner for his first goal.
Fitzroy's 8th and their 5th for the quarter with the breeze, but Adelaide's 13 goals and they've already kicked 6 against the breeze, and that will be telling in the final wash-up. Now, Chandler, big long kick inside 50, looking for another goal for the Roys. McCarthy held without. Now Atkins a chance, runs into an open goal, should kick this, has a bounce, and puts it straight through. The X-Man, his first. Fitzroy's 9th, and they're still in it.
Good. This has been a great quarter of football that we've seen all the skills being presented by both sides, and Adelaide have really stormed upward into what has been a dropping breeze, but Fitzroy have stuck to it and they've really generated a great degree of run, and that's the good goal to get, the one that's running and moving forward. Great play by the Lions.
12 goals kicked for the quarter. Reigning goals at the Whitten Oval, 13-4 to 9-7. Fitzroy is still very much in this contest. Pittman lumbers after it. Now it's Hawking onto the left foot. Snaps it up towards left half forward. Smart getting underneath it with Hogg. It bounces better for the former Richmond captain. He's caught by Smart. Hart chops it off right on the boundary line. He's caught, taken over, holding the ball. No throw in, says the umpire. Fitzroy's left forward pocket, or almost in the forward pocket. It's about 35 metres from goal. The Lions would love another one. 4 minutes left in the term. As I said, 12 goals have been scored in it so far. We'll probably see a couple more if that pattern continues. There's a whistle. Fitzroy free advantage. Hogg goes at goal and it's kicked it behind. Wasn't the advantage really there? Should have kicked it from there though, Terry.
He should have, yeah. Like he was miles clear. Oh, so vital.
That was a vital goal. Well, vital chance for a goal.
Now I know why I'm not coaching, Pete.
Another grey hair. Prosciutto. Prosciutto turns. Kicks not really to the advantage of his side. Lamb will try to get it over the line. Bickley. Long hand pass. Bounces Fickle. Johnson through some very heavy traffic. Bamford. Johnson again, but the ball is out of bounds this time. It'll be thrown in on centre wing.
Johnson played a lot of games on the forward line last year, kicked a lot of good goals. Now making his mark in the back pocket and doing very well. Cook wins this one to Boyd. To rush kick, and Liptak takes a safe mark in front of Atkins. Plays on quickly to Allen. The possession game now for the Crows. Straight to Bond. Bond again looking to chip forward and does so. Finds Costa. Costa's 13th kick. Had a very, very good game. Now off to Liptak. It's all a bit too easy at the moment for the Crows. Caven gives a bit of a shove and it's allowed. Mark to Caven directly in front. 40 metres out. Fitzroy crowd are not happy. Will getting it out.
No, well, if we see the replay here, the umpire sees exactly what we see here. And there's that left arm. Well, you're talking to a backman here.
I'm one.
It was blatant.
There's a bit of a Jason Dunstall forearm, that's what I call it. Anyway, Caven lining up directly in front and puts it straight through. That's Caven's first. And Adelaide's
14-4 to 9-8. Peter Caven at his third club, formerly of Fitzroy and of course of Sydney.
He's proving to be a very handy pickup. His 4 goals last week and he's been involved in good exchanges here today. His handball I think has been very, very good. He's been very sharp. And a well-executed shot at goal there.
So 9-8 to 14-4. Great kicking, especially by the Crows. Costa went without it. Atkins tackled well. Bickley goes down in the tackle. Costa's hand pass. A little bit too severe. The umpire's bringing it back. It's going to be a Crows free kick. And it will be taken by Mark Bickley. Almost in the middle of the ground.
Brad Boyd there, a little bit slow to get up, Pete.
Exhaustion. First game. He didn't play last week. Johnson into the hole. Paxman, you'll need to be quick, and he is. Paxman short pass, straight down the centre. Bounce is going to be important here. Prosciutto reads it best. McDermott on the ground now, the veteran. Back to Prosciutto. Kicker towards left half forward. Is he off? No, hasn't gone over the mark, Peter Caven. Luckily. Had he gone sideways, he would have been told to play on. Kicks to Robin. Second grab. Takes the mark in front of Mellington. Centering kick from him. Jarman, yes. Great mark, Andrew Jarman. Right in front of goal. It's the Jarman boys show this afternoon. Andrew's got 2. Darren, who's been brilliant in this third quarter, has kicked 6 goals, 1.
Well, for people in Adelaide watching this, suggest you've been treated to Jarman magic for many, many years. And For us Melbourne people to see them working together here for the first time, it's a fairly impressive duo.
Jarman from point-blank range kicks the goal. So 14 goals kicked in the third quarter. 3 goals to Andrew, 6 to Darren. Robin has got 2. The major contributors for the Crows, who advanced to 15-4, Fitzroy 9-8, and we have 3/4 of a minute left in the third quarter.
Well, the value that Robert Shaw gets out of being able to play the 2 Jarman boys up forward is presented as a result of having a real wealth of good midfielders. Liptak's in there now with Bickley. We have Costa being able to play on the wing and give drives. So really, they've lost nothing to be able to add those 2 to their forward line.
The highlight so far, Jarman's kicked 4 out of Adelaide's 8 for the quarter against the wind. Brilliant effort by the Crows. Pike on the burst. That's what the Roys need. Bit of G&D. Now it's McLeod's chance. Who can kick Adelaide's 9? Mellington over his head. Bond has a chance. Gives it to Costa. Costa's kick is wide and out of bounds on the ball in the pocket. Kim Costa had a very good game today. 13 kicks, 8 marks and 7 handballs. Close to best on ground, but Jarman's 4 goals in that third quarter. Oh, Johnson, another good mark.
Well, he took his big one last week in 50 metres.
He's been great. I've been very, very impressed. I mean, last year he showed some brilliance in the forward line. He kicked 3 goals on probably half a dozen occasions. But now going back into defence and bringing some really strong discipline into his game.
He needs to get it moving quickly. If Fitzroy at the goal, only a few seconds remaining in the term. They need a mark and to play on quickly. McDermott punches to the boundary line. The clock will stop there. I don't think there's going to be time, though, for Fitzroy to get a goal. But we have been treated to a superb quarter of football by both sides. Certainly the Crows have shone out, and Darren Jarman has really been the shining light. Boundary throw in, right half forward flank for Fitzroy. There's the siren for 3/4 time, and the Crows will go in with what you would think would be a winning lead at the final change. It's Adelaide 15-4-94, leading Fitzroy 9-8-62. So it did rain goals. Fitzroy kicked 6 goals, 5, and Adelaide kicked 8 goals, 2. Are my maths correct? Yep. And that all added up to a very entertaining quarter of football, whichever side you support. The Jarman show, Andrew on screen has 3, and his brother Darren has kicked 6 goals, and of course most of those, I think it was 4, came in that quarter, wasn't it?
We spent most of the time at full forward, Pete, so 4 goals for the quarter, still pretty good.
But that's not bad. Yep. That's Dunster-esque, isn't it?
And the advantage that Robert Shaw has now is he can give Big Sean Wren a real solid run, and I think he needs it. Pittman has carried the weight of the ruck work during the pre-season, but surely Wren is their #1 ruckman and needs the run throughout this last quarter.
So at the final change at the Whitten Oval, it's 94 plays 62, a difference of 32 points in favour of the Crows. We'll be back in a moment.
Right now at Pizza Haven, we're having one of our biggest offers ever. For a limited time, we'll give you a large extra supreme, a large Hawaiian, garlic bread, and lasagna. Plus, we'll throw in a bottle of Coke and a chocolate Bavarian dessert. All for $19.90, delivered free. That's not supreme value, that's mega value.
For a great deal on a great meal, spend the night in front of the box. 131 241.
Yes, it's true. Discount Lounge Centre now sells some of Adelaide's best quality sweets. And yes, it's true, they're at Adelaide's lowest prices.
And yes, it's true. Lounge liquidators have closed and we're liquidating their entire stock. Sweets at way below normal cost. We got them cheap and we'll sell them cheap. We'll even give you 12 months interest free.
At Discount Lounge Centre, corner of Goodger and Morford Street City, Discount City Parafield, 90 Main South Road, Ranella, and our brand new store at 23 Anzac Highway, Keswick.
If it's movies you want, it's movies we've got at SA Video Warehouse. If you want to buy or exchange with thousands to choose from, SA Video Warehouse. New and used, all guaranteed from $2 each. Yes, $2 each. SA Video Warehouse. The best price, best selection, best service. SA Video Warehouse. Full-length movies from just $2 each for sale or exchange. SA Video Warehouse. The new gigantic movie sale and exchange centre. 274 Weymouth Street, City. SA Video Warehouse, open 7 days.
Okay, Hit Machines World is right on target with 20 of today's biggest, including Oasis, TLC, Tina Arena, Dream World and Coolio. Plus Real McCoy, Hey Sobrano, Swoop, Garbage, The Out There Brothers, Denny Hines and more. Get a fix on 20 max tracks with Hit Machines World, out now.
Barina. It's what's been missing in big deals. A new Barina packed with features for only $14,990 drive away, including 6-speaker sound system and driver and passenger airbags standard. It's the biggest deal in town at only $14,990 with absolutely nothing more to pay. For a limited time only, get into a Barina. $14,990 drive away, no more to pay at your Holden dealer now.
AFL action tonight sees Brisbane take the long trip west. Will the Bears be taking a holiday, or will the Eagles bring them back to earth with a thud? Join us from 8:45 tonight on 7.
On Today Tonight, who killed Suzanne Poll? Her tortured husband pleads for help.
He's still out there.
Join the search for new information.
We're always pleased to see new people come forward.
That's Today Tonight next week.
Magnificent quarter of football by both sides, but Adelaide in with a very handy lead as we go through to the final quarter. The Crows leading 15-4, Fitzroy 9-8 at the Whitten Oval.
Today's match is part of the AFL Coca-Cola Centenary Season.
And in the Centenary Season, 3 other matches being played today in this split round over the Easter weekend. Down at Cardinia Park, just down the highway here from the Whitten Oval. It's a progress score late in the third quarter, where the Cats are doing it well over St Kilda, and they are leading 26 to 10 goals 10. Adelaide has 4, Riccardi 3 for the Cats, and for the Sainters, Stewie Lowe has 4 goals. And the other matches, North Melbourne, well, what a flogging over Footscray, 20 goals 9 to 4 goals 6. That is a three-quarter time score. 129 plays 30. So a few furrowed brows from Alan Joyce and his coaching staff. And the other game being played is out at Waverley. Richmond doing it quite well there. Thanks very much. The Tigers 11-11, 77 to Hawthorn, 5-11, 41. Richardson 2 and Brendan Gale 2 for the Tigers. So the stage is set for the final quarter. Fitzroy, well, you have to say goals can be kicked at both ends. Curls, are they in with the chance? But what a quarter by Adelaide.
Super quarter into the breeze, and as we thought, they did change their forward structure with the more mobile players, and I think they'll stay with it this quarter. I don't think they'll play the big men up forward. But no, the Crows are still having trouble getting out of the centre. Fitzroy have worked very hard, but both coaches then had different strategies. Mickey Noonan talking to his boys just on the team pattern and the style, whereas Robert Shaw was working on the individual players and just instructing them how to play the forward movement. But I would expect Adelaide to go right away with this game now. They're very fit and they're playing very confidently, and that they've got better players, as simple as that.
Thanks, Curls. The final quarter from the Whitten Oval. The Crows winning by 90 points last week. They lead by 32 here at the final change. Can they boost their percentage in round 2? Socket past Bickley. Bond a chance to pick it up. Atkins right on his hammer. Chandler goes in, just about gets buried in the tackle, and it will be another ball up, only a few metres wide of the centre circle. Sun has gone behind a cloud. The wind not as strong as it was earlier. Forecast was for it to change to the west, but as we saw during the third quarter, goals can be kicked at both ends, and what a quarter of football that was. Cook taps it down. Boyd, quick kick out of the congestion, gets it back towards centre field. There's a whistle on play. It's going to be a Fitzroy free kick. It will come back. Boyd trying to break clear, but the advantage has been paid, and Hawking takes the free kick. Kick is the half forward in McCarthy, who's had a fairly quiet day. Now Hogg, who missed a sitter in the third quarter. Jamison tackles him, dropping the footy. Terrific tackle by Rod Jamison.
He's opened the season in great form, hasn't he? I mean, last week he was a very dominant player across half-back, and today hasn't been as spectacular, but by gee, he's worked hard in close.
No, you don't have to be spectacular to be successful across half-back. Bruce Dool, smart, gets clear. The half-forward, Jarman again takes the mark. Umpire says, I can't pay it. McLeod goes at goal and gets it to his brother. Andrew Jarman. It's the Jarman show, and it continues at the Whitten Oval. Watch for it coming to a theatre near you. 3 to Andrew, 6 to Darren, and what an act. Now Andrew Jarman, Gary medalist, 2 Foz Williams medals against his name. Kicks from the forward pocket, kicks and goals. So Andrew gets his 4th. They've got a personal battle out there to see who can kick more. It's 16-4 to 9-8.
Well, on a personal level, he's now bettered his best effort last year, which was 3 on 2 occasions last year. And today has just had so many opportunities. The ball being shared between himself and his brother, but really the dominance of Adelaide through the midfield, not specifically centre bounces. I think Fitzroy been good there, but through the midfield has been predominant.
A couple of minutes into the final term, Crows by 38 points. Andrew Jarman just putting through his 4. McDermott to Costa. Had a reasonably quiet third term compared to his first half at least. Mellington now a chance for Fitzroy to Wharf. Putting each other under pressure. Cook. Now Pike. Bit of space now over to Johnson. Fitzroy half back, looking to set it up over to Pike again. Putting him under pressure. Palms off McGuinness. Does well. Now up past centre wing for Simon Hawking. Takes a good chest mark on the run. Hawking wants to get it on quickly. He does. Looking for Morton in front. Kicked a couple of good goals in that third quarter. Smart. Clever play around the corner. Back up towards centre wing. And a good strong mark taken by Caven. Caven goes to play on. Umpire calls it. McGuinness keeps his feet. Ran. Back to McGuinness. A lot of foxing. Back to Bond. Possession game again. McGuinness gets a good bounce. But well wrapped up by Chandler. Hit hard by Robber, and good play. Spins out off to McLeod. Caven unable to take it. Pike mops up for Atkins. Can't get a hand to it. Robber now palming to McDermott. Atkins now. Someone needs to get the ball and kick it long. Boyd, handball. Hawking. He's the one. Up towards 50. McCarthy unable to take the mark. Rashuto now to clean up for the Crows. Off to Costa. Costa inboard. Back to Allen on the burst. A couple of bounces through. Half forward. Drives it long, looking for Andrew Jarman. Andrew Jarman takes it and kicks his 5th goal for the Crows.
On the first edition of Witness with Jana Wendt.
It's a battle lost, but it's not a war lost.
Rupert Murdoch.
He didn't corrupt anybody.
In his first interview since Super League.
This thing is not over.
Jana Wendt's exclusive from New York. Plus dead miners' families.
It's taken my kid's father.
At war.
Just wrecked their lives.
With BHP.
The big Australian widowmaker.
They won't let it die.
That's more proof that they knew.
Holden proudly presents Witness with Jana Wendt, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
44 points the difference. The Jarman show continues. The Roys need something. Barker, can he give it to them? Cook to Chandler. I liked his game. He started on the bench, but he has given them something. He's been very busy. Jamison punches again. Bombota's back on the ground. Hogg. Chalmers. Might get a free kick. Now the umpire says no, play on. So Chalmers gives it the big hook, the size 13, gets it out to almost the wing position. Bampert, tackle. Holding his decision going the Roy's way. Costa will stand the mark. Had a great duel with Darren Pritchard last week. I thought honours were just about even. Certainly he's given them something. He hand passed it away, so a correct decision by the umpire. It wasn't too good. Rashuto chips in front of Cook to take the mark. Morton stands the mark. Mark Rashuto, kick number 10. Lobs it up towards the centre wing position. Pittman. So the Crows, as Neil Curley predicted, going on with the job in the final quarter. Robran, good attempt to mark. Paddled forward by McLeod. Now it comes back to Robran. Robran centering kick with the right. Up towards the Jarman show. That might be 50. No, Paxman has got the mark in front of Darren. Scoreboard shows 9-8 to 17-4 in favour of the Crows. Holmes, has he been moved away from Andrew Jarman? He's got it back to Boyd. Onto Wharf. Wharf from midfield, kicks out towards right half forward. Marking contest, the ball punched high. Now a chance for Rashuto to clear. Gets it back to Jamison, and he'll do just that.
Jamison, bit of a drill to Pittman. The Crows now are looking pretty good, are on fire. It's all a position game.
50.
For encroaching over the mark against Brad Boyd. And it could be an expensive mistake by the captain. Pittman will take the kick directly in front, about 35 metres out from goal, and a chance to put Adelaide's 18th on the board. And their third for the quarter.
I suppose if we go back even further, Terry, when Fitzroy, they're going to lose this match. They lost at the first quarter when they just couldn't handle the wind, didn't do enough with it.
Thoroughly agreed, Pat.
Pittman puts it through. Good goal to the Crows.
Ultratune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with Ultratune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers by the RAA.
14 minutes left in the last quarter. It's the Crows by 50 points. All becoming a bit too easy. Great third quarter between the two teams. 14 goals kicked, but now it's all the Crows. They've kicked 4 to Fitzroy's nothing. Now it's Costa from centre wing. Chips into Robran.
Downfield free kick.
Pushed over. Robran will take the kick from about 50 metres. Slight angle. And shouldn't have any trouble making the distance. It's all about the accuracy.
He had a great second quarter, didn't he, when he
kicked a couple?
Yes, and got the Crows moving when they needed to be moved. So Robran, right on 50, former Hawk. Just maybe you have to wait on the goal umpire for this one. One behind. So Robran just drifted away at the last minute, so 2 goals, 1 against his name, 9-8 to 18-5. Barker takes the mark. Hart stands the mark. Kickers to centre wing. Pittman should fly from behind, and does. Couldn't drag it over the top of Wren, though. Too tall. He'll give it to Rashuto, whose kicking is usually pinpoint. And the Jarman show will continue. Darren, runner-up in the Brownlow last year, goes at goal and gets his 7th. Seven goals, 1 he's kicked. The one he missed he should have got. 19-5 to 9-8, and the difference as good as 10 goals.
It's quite incredible when you consider that his best effort last year for Hawthorn was just 2. Went right back in round 4, and here he is all of a sudden turned into a goal kicker. Only in result, I mean, not in talents. He's certainly always had the talents to be anything that he'd wanted to be, but today he's been able to deliver the goods in front of the big sticks.
The story is, though, Terry, that he's been working with a personal trainer. His brother Andrew's got him up at 6 o'clock in the morning and doing the hard yard, so it's paying off. He's kicked 7, and the Crows have 19 on the board. Atkins and Liptak the speed and the bodywork and the control. Oh, beautiful play by Liptak. Off to Jamison. A lot of class there with the Crows. Now Johnson the chance. Slips over and deemed too high. Slipped into that tackle. Chrissy Johnson, Fitzroy half-back, goes in towards the centre of the ground, puts everyone under a lot of pressure, and McLeod is the marker. Bickley dancing around a couple, looking for McDermott, finds him.
Mark, free kick or whatever.
Tough footballer, McDermott. Been around a long time. Very hard player.
Former captain.
Good to see him still having a kick. McDermott looking for some forward setup, looking for Andrew Jarman. He leads, using the body, but not enough jump in those legs, Jars. Pike chips in and takes the grab. Martin Pike changes direction. It's Cook, takes the mark on the 50. To Chandler, played well since he came on, got poleaxed when he came off the bench. Hogg on his left foot, under a bit of pressure, kicks into open space. It's Jamison and Smart. Smart using his body to shepherd, does well. Now Atkins a chance. Hawking kicks in, looking for Malloy. And a great mark to Malloy, runs into an open goal and kicks Fitzroy's first for the quarter and their 10th for the game.
Four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, petrol or diesel, outback or in business, you can trust a Triton double cab ute.
2 solid quarters from Fitzroy last week, maybe even 2.5, and you could probably say the same today. They've got to put 4 together, though, against quality sides, and Adelaide fits into that category. 19-5 to 10-8 now at the Whitten Oval. Johnson, their leading goal kicker last year with 25. He's got it onto Chandler. Lamb has kicked 2. Started on the bench. Bamford. High to the goal square. Was that touched? Maybe not. Rushed through by Brett Chalmers. A rush behind to Fitzroy. As we approach the halfway mark of the final quarter. 11.5 minutes to go. It's 10-9 to 19-5. Won't alter the result much. But Fitzroy would like to get some respectability into their score. Lamb again, rows the pack well. Pittman gives chase, can't catch him. One-on-one marking duel down there. The Crows, though, with the numbers, holding the ball, holding the man, or play on. Play on, says the umpire. Chalmers will go for the boundary line. If he can, he couldn't. Atkins and Liptak runs into Rashuto. Hogg, snapshot. Malloy punches down. And the kick dribbled over the line. Kick coming there from, I think it was Caden, it was. So a chance for Fitzroy in their left forward pocket. He's almost from the west now. Certainly died down a bit, Rombotis. He was carried from the ground earlier in the game. Caban again. Hand pass ricochets. Allen to Bond. Steadies. Back to Caban. Good use of the ball by the Crows. They're not wasting it. The kick is up towards centre wing. Robran missed it. His opposite number 5 is Barker won't. Lamb calls for it and gets it. And he takes the mark in front of McDermott. Former best and fairest winner. Then brought back on the mark by the umpire. Wayne Lamb. Rena's too tall. Cook. Morton. Hogg. Mark taken by Hawking. Hawking needs to get it moving quickly. He does. Badly delivered for Atkins. Hurried hand pass by him. Through the legs of Lamb. Now the skipper, Boyd. Steadies, goes at goal, and the skipper's kicked it. So Boyd kicks his first goal of the season, and Fitzroy come to 11-9, trailing Adelaide 19-5.
Well, the young skipper really has got a lot of work, a huge workload actually in front of him throughout this season. But ever so keen to get back into the fray and really wanted to play last week, but they decided to hold him back, and probably rightfully so. Runner-up best and fairest the year before last, and then best and fairest last year. Very important player to this young and developing Fitzroy side.
Crows by 44 points, 19-5 to 11-9. Johnson off the half-back line. Decides to go for a bit of a bounce and a run. Bit of speed, Chris Johnson. If he can go all the way, so it'll be a magnificent goal. He's running up towards the 50. They're urging him on. He shoots. Over the top and one behind for Johnson. What a great
sensational stuff.
Deserved better, didn't
very good.
Yeah. 5 bounces.
And the crowd all acknowledging it. Fantastic stuff.
Chalmers kicks in long. Drives it up towards the centre of the ground. Johnson's there. I think he's looking for a breather. Now Bickley over the top to McLeod. McLeod can set it up for one of the Jarmans. It's Andrew in the pocket. And it's too easy, Jarman on the chest. Very casual stuff.
Ben Hart on his own.
But I think Jarman will want to have a shot here. He wants his 6th. He'll probably want his 7th to beat Darren, or to equal him at least. He's kicked 5, 2 in this last quarter. Kick 1 here from here just prior. Looks pretty good. It's a goal.
Dawn Fraser, legend for a big Olympic win.
And I'm going for me 5th, Atlanta. I just scratched this McDonald's game ticket and I could win one of 5 trips to the Olympics in Atlanta.
To swim?
Or a Sony PlayStation with software, an IBM family PC package, or even...
Dawn Fraser, legend, another big win.
One of 8 Honda Odysseys, instantly.
Dawn, you're playing with your food. Oops. It's easy to win in McDonald's Olympic McMatch and Win.
13 goals between the two Germans. Darren has 7 and Andrew now has 6. It's 76 to 125 at the Whitten Oval. Fitzroy out of the centre. And the crew cut brigade through Chandler this time. Over the head of Caven. He'll get back there first to mop up, or he should. He does. Shepherded by Hart. Back to Costa. His second half hasn't been as brilliant as his first. Bickley gives it back to him. Costa as they share it around. McDermott. Still they come. This is Allen. Another former Bulldog. Allen's kick down towards the right half forward flank into space. Bounce is going to be important. Paxman will need to get back quickly. The other crew cut brigade from McLeod. Paxman again. Darren encroaches. Rides him into the ground. Maybe a free kick. No. So throw in. 40 metres from goal, or 40 metres around from the behind post at least. Scoreboard reading 11-10 to 20 goals 5. Pittman and Wharf. Mellington mops up. He'll go over the head of Andrew, or in fact try to. A good intercept. Barker. Now Pike. Atkins over his head. Bamford. Not much of this kid, but he can play. Make no mistake about that. Wren punches over the head of Cook. Atkins ridden into the ground as the axe. Umpire calls play on. Rasciuto tackled well by Lamb. The tackling's fantastic. Wren. Kick down comes from Liptak. And Robran, who did so much good work in the second quarter, kicking to this end goal, has taken the mark. But a few games with Hawthorn, wasn't happy, stood out, and has come back to Adelaide. I think we're still to see the best of this brother. Kick number 10 from Matthew Robran. He's kicked 2 goals. Robran from 48 metres out. Not a great kick off the boot. Slewed it a little bit, and he's kicked it through for a minor score. So 2 goals 2 now to Matthew Robran out of the Crows' tally of 20 goals 6. Fitzroy 11-10. 7.5 minutes left in the match. Paxman to kick it.
Bit undecisive. Paxman, not too sure where to go. Doing a bit of directing. Now decides to go right down the middle of the ground and looks for Mellington. Good kick. Mellington takes the mark off to Boyd. Puts him under pressure. That's been the story of Roy's all day. Putting each other under pressure. Now, we've got Barker on the wing. What can he do with it? Gives it to Simon Hawking on the run. From 50, should have a shot. Kicks it long. Looks pretty good. Good for Chalmers at least. Now it's kicked over by Rombotis. And it's a great goal to him.
A couple last week, he was stretchered from the ground, you may recall, earlier in this game. It's a good comeback in more ways than one, isn't it?
Poleaxed in the first quarter.
It's been very good. But he's a young man that's got a great degree of skill. Naturally, I'll give a bit of a plug here. He was an AFL trainee last year, and at the beginning of the year, really, you wouldn't have given the proverbial 2-bob for John Rombotis, but by the end of the season, he picked up a couple of senior games and started to display a great degree of maturity. And in the 2 games today, only a short time here today, he's been very, very good in the game.
Back to 44 points, the difference. Under 7 minutes left in the match. Bounce at midfield favours McLeod. Mellington and Robran. Mellington the first to recover. Johnson does a Shepherd. Paxman mops up well. Terrific intercept down there. Crows running in numbers. Bond picks it up eventually. A high kick. Could have done better with that. Andrew Jarman. No, yes, and Pike rushes it through for only one behind for the Crows.
Are they asking for a deliberate behind there, the Jarman boys? Keep it in the field. Let's all play.
Paxman brings it into Pike. Bickley stands the mark. Boyd, who's done fairly well with 14 and 9, his first game for the year. Played last week. certainly makes a difference to Fitzroy. But disappointing, I suppose, from Noonan's point of view, because they were in this game for such a long time, only to see the Crows gradually pull away in that brilliant third quarter. Hawking. Chandler's done well. He's given them something midfield. He's quick. His disposal usually pretty good. This one, no exception. Lamb, who also started on the bench, a late inclusion when Primus couldn't take his place on the side. Primus last week, if you didn't see the match, played a really good game against Hawthorn, had a good duel with Randall Bone. Morton a chance here. If he can pick it up, he can't. Snapshot. Chandler again. That's not bad. He's looking. The goal umpire says it's a goal. You've kicked it, son. Well, caps off a pretty good day for him. Fitzroy 13-10, Adelaide 27.
It's amazing sometimes where a young talent comes from. Young Chandler in the reserves last week played, was named best player for them and got his chance here this afternoon off the bench, and 27 disposals he's had during the afternoon, and a couple of tackles here, but more importantly he's had a real turn of pace and been quite prepared to break the game up.
20 goals 7 to 13-10. Cook gets the tab out. McLeod in the front of Chandler, the last goal kicker for Fitzroy.
Two lookalikes.
The crew cut brigade, as you call them, Pete. Ball up on centre wing. Fourth quarter centre breaks. Fitzroy 6-3. Obviously doesn't reflect in the scores, Wills.
No, but that's been one of the good parts of Fitzroy's play today. I think they've been excellent in there.
So unable to convert. Over the top of Atkins. Now Mellington in front of Robran. Using his body. Robran using the strength. Now lip tack. Can Chris McDermott have a goal here? Picks the ball up. Oh, solidly hit by Paxman. A great hit. Atkins taken high and given the free kick against Andrew Jarman.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't hurt McDermott with a hammer in each hand, could you?
Roy's play on Brad Boyd in the centre of the ground, takes the timely mark. Boyd plays on quickly, looking for Atkins again, putting him under pressure. Oh, good hit by Rand. Lovely. Now Barker on the burst to Bamford from 55. King of goal, Bamford. Shoots. Kicks it wide and out of bounds on the full.
Well, there was steam coming from that run. Simon Atkins is still sore after being hip and shouldered by Sean Wren, as you would expect. Johnson, the flyer from behind, is the first to recover. Lamb makes ground well. Chandler again. Atkins on his feet. Gives it away to Holmes. Holmes with a long bomb straight down the ground, and he kicks it straight and true for a goal. No, he doesn't. He kicks it behind. Official crowd this afternoon, 8,685. Of course, Holmes, I think, at one stage during the day, well, he was on Darren Jarman. Let's look at that again. Just the wrong side. Holmes last week, 25 hand passes, which I think was just about a club record. Tregenza, in the meantime, comes back on. Goes on to Atkins. Wren and Cook. Cook punches from behind. Hogg to Lamb. Quick to get rid of it. Oh, Jamison, great mark. Taking it in front of Rombotis at centre half back, or centre half forward, whichever you'd prefer. On to Rashuta. Thought about going. Goes back. Measures it to McLeod. McLeod goes longer. Nice little bit of a nudge by Smart. Hart running with him. Nigel Smart, 55 metres out from goal, and the mark is taken in the last line of defence by Walk.
Walk plays on. Smothered well by Pittman. Now a chance for Darren Jarman to kick his 8th. Spins on his left foot and beautifully puts it through. Darren Jarman.
I think he's won the contest.
What a great goal. You have to be clearly best on, Terry, what do you think? Or am I putting a bit of pressure on you?
No pressure whatsoever. And when he started in the middle of the ground, I thought even in that particular part of the game he was very good. He contributed in there, but then when given the opportunity sort of late in the second quarter to go to full forward as a result of Adelaide not making the most of Wren being there, he's certainly capped off a great game.
Jarman's just kicked his 8th, Adelaide's 21st, 133 plays 89. Umpire Hayden Kennedy pulls a free kick out to Sean Wren. Wren plays on quickly to Costa, who had a fantastic first half. Costa.
Still pretty good, 16 and 10.
Yeah, it'll be 17 kicks, 17 and 9 marks as well, Pete. Now, Nigel Smart and Johnson. Smart the quicker. Can he balance it on his hand? Unable to do so. Mellington gets it clear. Fitzroy defence holding out. Barker spins around. Gets a quick kick. Not much to find. Finds Danny Morton this time. Off to Holmes. Now, Cook in the centre of the ground. Tucks it under his arm and looks to have a bounce. Takes on Allen. Gives it to Hawking. Hawking has a bounce from 55. Has a long ping. The wind takes it, and Gerald Malloy takes the mark in the goal square for the Royals.
I'm not sure whether that was the most natural thing for Big Cook to be running and bouncing. Looked a little manufactured, but the effect was...
Gabbo.
The effect was most appropriate at the end.
Malloy directly in front. Puts through his third, and Fitzroy's 14.
Fitzroy's leading goal kicker, but he hasn't had too many opportunities. Only, 4 and 3. And of course, McCarthy taken from the ground, so Fitzroy not able to get too much from their key forwards. And that was what you pointed out at the start, Terry. If they were to win, they had to get more out of them than they have done.
I mean, we look just at last year's stats, but I mean, 15 goals twice was their best return for a forward line, and they're up to 14 now. And you know, we'd have to say Jared Malloy really hasn't contributed until the latter part of the game, so there's still room for improvement there. Primus back into the side, perhaps in the ruck, giving them even a little bit more out of the centre, even though Cook has done well. So there are some good positive signs here from Fitzroy.
And of course, Johnson, their leading goal kicker last year, kicked 25. He's playing in defence. So the last couple of minutes of the match now. It's going to be a convincing win to Adelaide. Chandler again, onto Hawking. Hawking's a long left footer. That one no exception. Malloy again. Yes, he's got it. Good use of the body once more to outbody his opponent, Brett Chalmers.
Where's he been?
Only if, yes.
Yeah.
It would be. Oh. I mean, that was good, strong, technically sound, you know, using the body of the right bench, never allowing Chalmers to take the front. That's got it all.
He's in front.
So encouraging signs for Fitzroy. He's kicked his fourth from very limited opportunities. 21-7 to 15-11, so it's back to 32 points. And that's not a thrashing by any stretch of the imagination. There's something for both coaches probably to build on here today. The Jarman act certainly has been the star of the afternoon, but we've seen a pretty good player in the making come off the bench in Brett Chandler, and we're going to hear more about him. So back to the centre for the last minute of the contest. Just over 5 goals the difference. The old warhorse himself, McDermott, down to Jarman. Pike's got him. Umpire says it's a free kick to Fitzroy, and Johnson steams out of defence with the footy. Tregenza comes at him. Bamford takes him on. Back to McDermott from Tregenza. Over the head of A. Jarman. Holmes. Bickley goes down. Holmes keeps going. On to Barker. Barker looking for options across the half-back line. McLeod comes at him. Kicks to Morton. Couldn't take the mark. Good pressure from Robin. Still he goes. Smart to Wren. Wren's kicked down towards full forward, and Paxman gets into the hole to take the mark. Gets it over to Pike. Pike runs out. So too there's time for Fitzroy. It's Bamford. And here's another player that the Roys are going to see a lot of in matches to come. Cook, limited experience, has battled hard. So too Fitzroy. They kept going, and that's certainly a plus for them. But 2 wins in a row to the Crows by a convincing margin in the end. 32 points, not as big as last week when they annihilated the Swannies by 90. But it has been the Jarman show here this afternoon. 8 goals to Darren, 6 goals to Andrew, and they really carved up the Fitzroy defence in no uncertain manner. We saw a brilliant third quarter of football. In the end, it was Adelaide running out winners 21-7. 21-7, 133 to Fitzroy, 15-11, 101. But a very entertaining game of football this afternoon, and well, the Jarman show. What more can you say?
Look, Adelaide fans watching this can be well satisfied with the afternoon's work from their players. Yes, certainly the Germans with 8 and 6 goals between them is a real high. But I thought some of the ruck work done by Wren and Pittman was great. The defence continues to be sound, and Costa joining the side after a couple of years with Fitzroy, a good addition.
Let's go down to Curls.
Yes, have Kimmy Costa. Kimmy on familiar territory here.
Yeah, it was excellent, come back here and have a win on the first game away over here as well, so the 4 points was excellent.
It was obvious Fitzroy's tactic earlier was to bottle it up and try and keep it as congested as ever.
Oh yeah, they were sort of chipping it around everywhere, and we just put a bit of pressure on them, and they didn't like that, so it was really good. Everyone complains about this oval being shocking and everything. I think it's great.
Bit of a change at half-time with your forward set up. They put the smarter moving players up there, and it certainly paid dividends.
Oh yeah, the quicker blokes. The quicker blokes, it was great. The moves, coaching staff was excellent, and the boys played really well, so it's excellent.
2 games at home now with Geelong and Essendon. A real chance to get up that top of that ladder.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it. All the blokes, we're pretty pumped up at the moment and confident, so I think it's going to be good. We're looking forward to next week now.
Well played, Kimmy. All the best.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
He'll join his teammates. Robert Shaw comes out to have a few words to them as they leave the field. Victors at the Western Oval, or Whitten Oval. Never an easy task under sometimes trying conditions, but it was Adelaide by 32 points here in round 2. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more on the highlights from the other games in just a moment.
This is the original McDonald's 30-cent soft-serve cone, and it's still only 30 cents. 30 cents? The original great value cone.
This 15 seconds of happiness is brought to you by bananas. Just 1.5 bananas a day is your daily requirement of vitamin B6, the good mood vitamin. Bananas, nature's wonder fruit.
You've seen one, but you haven't seen them all till you've seen Plant Connections. Lavender, gardenias, ficus, conifers, the biggest and best of tropical collections. Landscaping, watering systems, sandstone pots, the finest of selections. You name it, chances are you'll find it right now at Plant Connections. For down-to-earth good service, the best value under the sun, you haven't seen it all till you've seen it all in one. At Plant Connections, Rundle Street, Kent Town, come see Plant Connections.
Cats with plain and blue, longer than me, all sure. I'd like to see that.
Clubs full of guys with great bodies? Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I hear you guys worship Aussie rules. Hey! What sort of religion is that?
A game that's lasted longer than me. I'd like to see that.
Unbelievable.
Now's the time to make your Easter project 10 out of 10 with Accent Low Sheen acrylic paint. 6 litres for the price of 4, only $29.95. Washable wattle Ceramicoat, 4 litres at a low $42.95. And get $10 cash back when you buy 4 litres of Dulux Timber Colour. For great Easter projects and great value prices, see our big catalogue out now.
9 to 10 out of 10 every time.
Hurry to any Gujarat store as soon as you can for the rug buy of a lifetime.
Pay as little as 1/3 the price. Not 1/3 off, just 1/3 the price.
And every other rug in the store slashed to half price. Hurry, sale must end this weekend.
Just help yourself to my lips, to my arm. Just say the word and they are yours. Just help yourself to my lips, then that's really start to live.
Tonight, the time has come.
Let the international finals begin.